You have entered Alyx's world, a safe space for wrestling fans like you.
Hello all and welcome to Alyx's World, a safe space for wrestling fans like you. I am your host, Alyx, just Alyx. It's a big day. What a time it is to be a wrestling fan. You have joined what is going to be the premier place for your WWE Wrestlemania 40 preview and predictions. WrestleMania XL, the biggest WrestleMania of all time, can only be covered by four of the biggest personalities here in the wrestling YouTube space. You already know how this works. We are going to predict, analyze, break down all of the matches on both night one and night two. We might have opinions that we agree with. We might have opinions that we disagree with, but it's going to be a hell of a discussion because this is your WrestleMania night one and night two roundtable. I cannot wait to bring in my guests. It is going to be a hell of a show. This is live on not just YouTube. We're also live on Facebook. We're also live on X. Can't say Twitter no more. Jesus Christ. But regardless of where you're watching us, thank you for making us a part of your day. As always, please be sure to subscribe to everybody that's going to be on the live stream, A&B Convos, and of course, Patrick's Crazy Place. The links to all of their channels are down below in the description box. I am excited. I'm excited to get things started. So I don't want to waste any more of your times, whenever, wherever you're watching us. We're going to go ahead and kick things off with the sponsorships and everything like that. We got to get that out the way before we bring in everybody. So you already know, if this is the first time you're watching me, do me a solid favor. Like the video, subscribe, and click that bell to catch all my content when it comes out. While you're at it, help expand the brand by doing the following things. Join the membership, click that join button, and get the opportunity to request a video of your choosing, whether it's a live reaction, a hot topic, or a review, past, present, or future. Also, don't forget to give thanks. Hit that super thanks. If you would like to donate after the fact, you can also like me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter, just Alyx Central. Give me a follow on Instagram, give me a follow on Spotify, give me a follow on TikTok, give me a follow on Threads, give me a follow on Cameo, give us a follow on Discord, but most importantly, give us a follow on TikTok. For I am the tickest of the talkest. Donate using PayPal, Patreon, Cash App, Venmo, and yes, Super Chats are officially on. You can donate to get your stuff aired live in front of hundreds, and I mean hundreds of fans. I should have probably said, and the millions watching us live on YouTube right now. And don't forget to get yourself a t-shirt today at Pro Wrestling Tees and Teespring. Get you an old school Deluxe Man t-shirt. Get you a new school Alyx is more t-shirt. But most importantly, get you a blonde hair, blue eyes, apple pie, America, the remix t-shirt made by It's Janox and Firestar Heart. All this down below in the description box. Wrestle Rumble. The lovely people over at WrestleRumble.com is sponsoring this broadcast. If you are somebody that wants to win $1,000 or perhaps maybe get the 500 second and third place, but we don't go for no second and third place. When you come from Alyx's World, we always number one because we throw up them ones. If you are somebody that wants to enter this contest, you can enter right now at WrestleRumble.com and you can get you maybe a form, maybe 3 forms, maybe 5 forms. 5 forms for $32. Ladies and gentlemen, that's a steal. All you do is answer some questions. And guess what? If you get the most points, you win $1,000 at first place. 3 lucky followers across Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube will get a free form. 1 free form into the contest. Here's how you do it. Follow us on Discord. You have to be in the Discord, and my moderators will get to choose who gets these forms. But you have to be in the Discord. We are closing in on 200 followers. I want 300 by this weekend. So let's get some followers on Discord, and we will be picking 3 lucky winners for a free form into the WrestleMania pick'em contest. Once again, WrestleRumble.com, thank you for sponsoring this video. Are you guys ready? You ready to bring in the special guests? We're going to kick things off, ladies and gentlemen, with the best reactors. The best reactors in the YouTube space. Their family here. They've been on my channel multiple times, but I call them the premier channel for wrestling reactions. You know them. You love them. You can't get enough of them. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage A&B Convos Wrestling Edition.
And this is A&B Convos Wrestling Edition.
That's what I'm talking about. We got the lovely Elizabeth here. We got just Alyx here, yeah. But I'm talking to you, Hulk Hogan. I'm the World Wrestling Federation champion, and we're talking about predictions for WrestleMania 40. Dig it.
Sucker.
Okay, that was two different people.
I know, but every time you say dig it, I gotta say sucker.
That's two different
Look
people.
and see.
Tell me you did not just say that. What's up, just Alyx?
What's going on, people?
What's up?
Good to have you guys here, A&B Convos Wrestling Edition. Your family here. It's a great environment. It's always a good time when you two show up. And I'm so happy to once again be in your world while also in my world. You know how this is. You know what I mean?
Show world, Alyx.
Oh, man. It's all our worlds. It's always a good time with you two around. But guess what, ladies and gentlemen? It would be one thing if it was me, A&B Convos. It's already an incredible time. But it's not just them. Oh, no. As we all know, ladies and gentlemen, we live in what's called a community. And there's too many people here who are out for themselves. They're not out for anybody else. I always try to promote the ecosystem here. And I'm going to bring in somebody who is extremely underrated. Someone who doesn't get enough attention. He gets attention, just not enough. And I want him to have it here in Alyx's world. So please welcome to the stage from Patrick's crazy place. Here is Patrick.
I like it. Nice and simple. That's what's up, Patrick.
What's up, Patrick?
What's up, everybody? How y'all doing? Unfortunately, I don't have an awesome Randy Savage impression or any impression at all to introduce myself with. I'll just say I'm happy to be here, and I'm looking forward to talking WrestleMania. This is going to be great.
We
Humbleness.
Give a quick shout. This is our channel mascot, Bone Crusher. She's a Shih Tzu Terrier of terror. She pops in, she pops out. So if you don't know Patrick, now you know. That's who she is right here. The channel mascot. Now she wants down.
I love the name. Is that a Transformers reference by any chance?
Well. We'll save that conversation for another day, sir.
Okay.
I feel the type of way about the live actions. We'll discuss it.
That's a really good question. Ladies and gentlemen, I am excited to get things started at WrestleMania. It is a huge card. Right now, it is 13 matches for both night 1 and night 2. But the thing is, and this has actually been reported, there's a mystery slot for night 2. And it's literally one of those things where you have the lineup, the sheet backstage, it's plastered on the wall, and it literally just has question marks. It's a segment with question marks. The talent don't know about it. The only people that know about it is Triple H and the creative team. That's crazy.
Oh, that's exciting.
I actually like it that way because there's too many things that's getting reported nowadays where no surprises. And so now it's gotten to a point where we have to surprise not just us, but the talent as well, just to keep it a secret. So I'm excited about that one.
Calling it now, MJF debuts at WrestleMania. That's my pick.
I actually was kind of thinking that too, because it has been reported that he's no longer under contract with AEW. Nobody's seen him for a while.
I'm going for the wild card. This is going to be Lil Jimmy and Hornswoggle. Boom.
WrestleMania Classic. Lil Jimmy and Hornswoggle, ladies and gentlemen. 5 stars by Dave Nelson. 5 stars. And on that note.
Negative 5 stars.
Oh my God. Let's go ahead and kick things off. WrestleMania 40, ladies and gentlemen, is here. They're calling it the biggest event literally of all time for WrestleMania XL. Nice little tagline there. I'm going to get the thoughts of not just the people in the live chat, but my panel here. I'm going to kick things off with A and B. I guess we'll start off with B, perhaps. Where are your, let's say, your excitement levels when it comes to WrestleMania on a scale of maybe 1 to 10.
I'm gonna give it an 11.
11.
That's my schedule. Like, first of all, I've never been this excited about a WrestleMania ever. I just haven't. I thought I had, but then you put The Rock and Roman together with Cody.
I swear.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
You are not going to be in the middle of that sandwich. I'm telling you
I
that
didn't
right
ask
now.
to be. I'm just saying. I'm excited. And actually, overall, overall, it's just a good card. It's just, it's exciting. The buildup is good. The way the like it's the cinema behind what they're doing with the promotions. I even like how, like they started doing with Shinsuke, and then they did it with Iyo, where they're finally able to really do a promo in their own language, and then they're just translating it, and it's dark and ominous. And then Bayley come out of nowhere and attack her right up. Like, are you kidding? Like, it's just a level of investment and art all the way around that we have not seen in such a long time. And I just know that they are going to deliver.
Yeah, I gotta agree with you. This is about cinema. For me, WrestleMania, they call it the grandest stage of them all. And this is shades of WrestleMania 1, WrestleMania 2, WrestleMania 3. We're going back into what WrestleMania was designed to be, a show that you will not see on any pay-per-view when it was called pay-per-views, PLEs, at all ever for the rest of the year. And we kind of got away from that under the McMahon banner. Had some decent matches. It was fine. But The Rock, and I said this when he came back here, he's on the board. My man was about business. And aside from that, when he went into Hollywood, he consistently said, raising the bar, raising the bar. We want to give the people something that they will never see before again, ever. Like the Brit, the Hitman Hart used to say, best there is, best there was, best there ever will be. That's the product that he is trying to put together. We've seen that on Raw, seen that even in NXT. We've seen that on SmackDown. We're seeing the interactions that he's doing in his social media, behind the scenes. Clear. No, we're not clear. Forget that. Whipping him afterwards. The level in which WrestleMania needs to be at, for me, finally back to the grandest stage of them all. I'm very excited.
Ladies and gentlemen, before we get to Patrick, I want to plug a special guest from the AB Convos world. It is their Super Chat champion, 3 Diglets, with a Super Chat, ladies and gentlemen.
What up, 3
And
Diglets?
probably an adjustment that we probably need to make here. He says AB Combos volume is a bit low.
A bit low for us. Okay, we can turn it up a little bit. We can turn it up. We can also speak up. Is that better?
Actually, you actually sound great right now. That sounds wonderful. Super Chat champ, are they better? How we feeling, ladies and gentlemen? Do they sound good? Let us know in the live chat. Do I sound good? And let us know if Patrick needs to turn up his as well. We are here to please. We are here to adjust. You know how it is when it's live. But thank you for that donation, Super Chat champion.
Let us know, champ.
There we go.
So what number are you giving for your excitement, A?
I am cautiously, anxiously giving this at this point a 8.5 to a 9. I cannot say it is a 10 because the only issue that I have right now, the card looks stacked, which is great. I feel that the Bloodline storyline, which has run rampant through the WWE for the last 4 years, I feel it's overshadowed almost everything, including Seth Rollins, Drew McIntyre. I feel like most of the people right now are doing what they can to try to stay relevant in this big space. And so what I'm hoping for is that everybody shows up, shows out, and they, just like with WrestleMania 3, if you recall, with Randy Savage and Ricky Steamboat, they said, we need to go out here and steal the show because it was all about Hogan and Andre the Giant. And arguably, their match was the match of the night. We always joke about Hogan slamming Andre, but what I'm saying is every match needs to be a Ricky Steamboat and a Randy Savage match. And if we can do that, if they can get from out of the shadow of the Bloodline and The Rock, then you've got a 10 from me.
You know what, Patrick? This is a good spot for you to come in. Where's your excitement level when it comes to WrestleMania 40?
On a scale from 1 to 10, I'd say it's probably at about an 8. WrestleMania is a show I typically always get excited for because it's the season finale. It's the biggest show of the year. And I've always kind of selfishly, I've always kind of seen WrestleMania as kind of my birthday presents because I was born on March 20th. And the first WrestleMania happened 11 days after I was born. And my birthday typically falls pretty close to WrestleMania. WrestleMania 10 fell on my birthday, actually. So I've always had a special connection to WrestleMania. So, but I'd say I'm a little bit more excited this year than most years because really it's two things. One, The Rock. I think he's injected a lot of excitement and a lot of intrigue into the product. He has been an amazing presence on the show. And also, and I don't know if this is Rock's influence or it's Triple H's influence or what, but they have taken a lot of chances in the production of the shows leading up to WrestleMania and like different ways of doing backstage segments. Like, and even simple ones. Like I remember on Raw a couple weeks ago, they did that segment where I think DIY was coming back from their match and Awesome Truth was right there at the gorilla position waiting to go out for theirs. And it was all done in like one continuous shot. And it was a simple thing, but it just freshened up the presentation because that was one of my criticisms for years is that under Vince's direction, everything was very formulaic, very stale, very paint by numbers, and nothing felt natural. And now it's kind of getting back to kind of how it felt during the Attitude Era, where it was very natural and felt very kind of gritty and realistic. And I think that's kind of made a lot of the storylines for the show work a lot better because the show's more exciting. So you're more exciting for the card that's coming up. So overall, I'd say they've done a pretty good job setting up WrestleMania this year.
You know, it's interesting, real quick, to touch on that. That's something that we've been commenting on. We've noticed that camera work that, to me, I've said this on the show before, that this is something that I feel The Rock has brought in from his Hollywood world, that he's really been able to see what it's like to film and be cinematic and write and produce and even have his eye on directing. And we've seen that in here, and it takes some getting used to. We're not used to seeing this sort of cinematic work in the WWE, and I think we are on our way to seeing some really big things.
That's
so,
great,
yeah,
though,
absolutely.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of when, and I'm going back a few years here, but it reminds me of the first time I saw Lucha Underground, which I was a big fan of that show. And I remember the first time I flipped it on and I watched, I don't know, 2 minutes of it and I was hooked because it looked so radically different from how WWE products normally look. So I think bringing a little bit more exciting camera work and other aspects into the production of it has really helped out tremendously.
Agreed.
Real quick plug to the Tribal Chief, fan of Patrick over here. One of my first videos I remember watching on YouTube with Patrick's top 10 worst WWE pay-per-views of all time. That's a classic one, by the way, Patrick. I think that one might be one of your highest viewed videos, right?
It might be. God, when did I do that one? That one feels like, I want to say at least 6 or 7 years ago. I've been on this platform way too long, but it's always fun to have somebody come back and remind me of one of my old videos.
Yo, really quickly before I get my thoughts, A and B, if you could turn your volume just a little bit more up. Fans are saying you're still a little low for them.
Still a little low. Okay.
Hopefully we can find the right setting for you guys here.
Right.
So while they're adjusting, just to kind of make it short and sweet, because I think all three of these guys echoed my sentiments altogether. For me, I'm around an 8.5, and here's how I see it. The main event of night one is probably one of the most hyped, excited I've been for any main event when it comes to WrestleMania, simply because, like you guys said, The Rock, and everything going into it has been straight up Attitude Era-esque booking from The Rock coming in, getting that heat as a heel, beating down Cody Rhodes, not 1 week, but twice in a row. We're getting blood. We're making it personal with Cody Rhodes saying Rock has little dick syndrome to The Rock cussing up a storm on all kinds of social medias. It feels legit. It feels real. We're getting away from all kinds of stuff that, let's just call it like it is, made us sick of WWE, sick back in the PG era, or should I dare say the Vince McMahon era, because not everything that was PG that was bad, including NXT. It's fine for me when it comes to the cussing, because a lot of people that's sick of the cussing. I'm good with the, them breaking some rules here and there, the cussing, as long as it creates good TV. And for me, when it's edgy like this is when wrestling is at its best. So for me, the night one main event has all of my attention, but that night two main event with Cody Rhodes and Roman is dead cold. Dare I say, and we'll have a discussion about it, it's the least I'm excited for any match on this card. It is. Even with them announcing Rey Mysterio and, of course, Dragon Lee versus Dominik and Santos Escobar, I'm a little bit more excited for that match than Cody and Roman. Could I be
Wow.
excited for it based off of the main event of night one? Sure. But I just kind of feel like when you say Cody and Roman, part 2, by the way, is the main event. This is the marquee match. That is the very last match of WrestleMania, the biggest WrestleMania of all time. And it having literally the lowest, coldest hype for any of the matches, it just makes it all the worse for me. And I think because of that, like night 1 would be like a 9.5, and then night 2 would be like a maybe a averages out to about an 8. That's how I feel about it. What do y'all? So, yeah, I mean that's just how I feel. Y'all can, again, if y'all want to agree or rebut to that, it's up to you guys. But I just feel like that's how I feel about the main event right now.
Well, I said last year when Roman beat Cody, and everybody said, "Oh, Cody will come back and just beat him next year; it'll be fine." And I said, it's going to be hard to get people that amped up again to want to see Cody win the belt. It's hard to kind of catch lightning in a bottle twice when you fumble the ball the first time. And The Rock has helped considerably. I shudder to think where they would be if he wasn't around. But part of me also thinks, like, you know, everybody, there was that debate going on a few weeks ago where it was, should it be Cody and Roman or should it be Rock and Roman? I think we kind of slept on Cody versus Rock as a possibility, because I'm way more excited for a singles match between those two than I am for Cody and Roman. And we'll talk about it more when we talk about the predictions. My thing with Cody Roman is that I want a specific ending to that match, and if we don't get it, it's kind of tanked the whole match for me. But yeah, I'm with you. I'm way more excited for the tag match night 1, and that's entirely because of the excellent TV that's led up to it.
What about you, AB?
Ladies first.
I agree. I mean, night 1, that match is completely. I mean, yeah, that's where The Rock is going to actually be in the match. And everything that's been super exciting thus far is everything he's been involved in. So, you know, night 2 is going to depend on how night 1 goes, which is, I guess, what we're going to talk about.
You know, yeah, I can't wait to get to that particular prediction. And we did turn the volume up, so we're still low. Just Alex, let us know.
Honestly, you sound very good. Perfect to me right
excellent.
now.
We turn it up a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm really curious to see what's going to happen. I like what we saw here. We had a situation where Seth Rollins comes out, calls out The Rock, calls out Roman Reigns, and they're like, nah, you're going to get Solo. Fine, but it's going to be Bloodline rules. So we got a taste of what Bloodline rules could be. Are we going to see that on night 2? I don't know. We'll get there. But yeah, I do shudder to think what this would have looked like if The Rock was not involved in this, because let's keep it real. When The Rock, and I'll keep it short because I know we got to get to it. When The Rock came out and he said, should I sit here? Should I sit there? Or should I sit at the head of the table? Everybody lost their freaking minds. We saw the reactions on YouTube, just crowds blowing up. Oh my gosh, we're finally getting it. And then it switched. Then it shifted. And it turned into something unexpected, but it turned into something that I think was absolutely gold. However, you saw it, just Alex. I know you talked about it. We talked about it. When Roman and Cody finally came face to face, you could hear a mouse piss on cotton. Nobody was trying to hear it. So I'm like, where are the Cody crybabies at this exact moment in time? It was stale bread. And it was terrible. And then The Rock comes in here and says, okay, look, cuz, let me show you how we're going to do this. And boom, right out the gate, through the roof. So what is going to happen on night 1 will have a direct effect on night 2. How that's going to look, I don't know. But we needed The Rock for this.
That's definitely going to be a big talking point of the broadcast. So let's go ahead and move right into what is said to be the first match on night 1. This has already been reported. It is the World Women's Championship. Becky Lynch taking on Rhea Ripley. The story going into this is that Becky has been wrestling. She's broken down her body. She's got bruises. She's got broken bones. And Rhea Ripley is 100%, but Rhea Ripley is cocky. So there's this idea that she's going to be caught off guard by Becky Lynch. She could potentially lose that Women's Championship. So I'm going to start things off once again with A and B. Y'all can decide who wants to go first here. Where y'all at? Who comes out the victor in this one?
Rhea all day. I'm not giving Becky a second glance at winning this. Not for a moment. It's not even a match that anybody really wanted to see, if you ask me. Like, we
Damn.
wanted to see Bianca and Rhea. That we were promised that we were going to get back to that, and instead we're just whatever, you know.
Looking at their interactions, honestly, I'm not necessarily opposed to somebody doing that self-doubt. We saw it with Sammy. Oh, I don't know. I need this victory. I need it for my win. Need it for my child. Need it for whatever. I really don't care about all that. To me, it seemed like she was trying to convince us that she deserved this spot, which is kind of crazy. In her promos and her interaction, I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. I do not like this match. I do not feel that we need to see Becky Lynch take this title from her. The only issue that I have that I can kind of sort of see Becky winning this is the disarray that's taking place in the Judgment Day.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot cooking in that kitchen. There are a lot of moving parts that I'm not quite clear on what's going on right now. It's all a little confusing for me. It seems like Judgment Day doesn't really have that direction. We've been saying for the longest time, why is Mommy Rhea not out here with Judgment Day? Why are you not out here with Dirty Dom? And then finally, we get her backstage. Finally, we see her coming out with Dom. We're finally seeing something, which is great. But I just feel like Becky Lynch is trying to get us to believe that she deserves it and that she can win it. On paper, yeah, it's possible. It's possible. But what is that ultimately going to do for her? What is that ultimately going to do for Rhea Ripley in the Judgment Day? My money, honestly, is on Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley will retain.
I think I'll go ahead and take it from here before I let Patrick finish things up. Usually, I would agree with you 100%. I think Rhea Ripley is one of the hottest acts in wrestling right now. I honestly think we've reached a point with her where she's not even a heel anymore. Every time she comes out, you get mommy chants. I don't even know why we even think about calling her a heel. I'm surprised why, honestly, at this point, when they split up Judgment Day, and that is a prediction, I do see that happening probably at WrestleMania. If she isn't a babyface after that, I don't know what we're doing. That being said, we haven't considered one thing when we think about this match, because, and I thought about this as well, Rhea Ripley has been booked to all hell so monstrous, yes, so monstrously. I don't even want to call it Super Cena booking or Roman Reigns booking, but she's reached a point where literally no one can believably beat her, at least on Monday Night Raw. Now, if you had added a Bianca Belair like Becky was saying here, I truly believe 1,000%, yeah, that could be someone that can beat her clean. But as it stands right now, there is nobody on that Women's Raw roster that can beat her. Going forward, that's going to create an issue. Because think about it this way. And I say this with all sincerity because I love Rhea. I can't remember any of her title defenses. None of them. And yes, she had the title defense against Nia Jax because that's recent. That's her last one. But past that, I don't remember anybody that has given me I don't even want to say 5-star. The last match I remember that comes to mind is literally last year with Charlotte Flair, which was fantastic.
Yeah.
That's an issue. That's a massive issue where because she's so overbooked and because she's so strong as a champ, we don't get memorable matches. And I'm considering that when I think about, well, going forward, we need someone that's going to elevate the women's roster. I'm not saying Rhea can't elevate the women's roster. What I'm saying is she's so high up and everybody's so down low currently. Is she able to do it? So keeping that in mind, I also think about the story I just told you. Rhea is cocky. Rhea thinks she's going to go in there and just tear Becky up.
Yeah.
And I think Becky might come back behind her and slip in a victory on her. So this is the first, I don't think me and A and B have actually disagreed on anything for the last few streams. This is the first time where I got to say, I got to disagree. I'm going with Becky.
I feel like I would only see that if Becky cheated to get the victory and turned heel and making Rhea a legit babyface. That's the only way I would see that because I don't believe that she could beat Rhea. That's not believable to me.
The issue I have, and I see what you're saying, and I want to ask you, Patrick, because I know you've got a lot to say on this, is to me, and we've said this before, Iyo Sky, Iyo Sky.
Okay. Mhm.
When you put these two women, because technically speaking, the Raw and the SmackDown champions are supposed to be right here. And let's just keep
Yeah.
it 100. Until recently, Rhea Ripley has been here, Iyo Sky has been here as far as dominant champions.
Yeah.
Roman Reigns has been over here. Seth Rollins, he's a working man's champ, and that's all well and good, but he has not had that 3-4 year dominance like they've been building Roman Reigns up to be.
Right.
I feel like that's what they're doing with Rhea Ripley. Like they're building her up to be this female Roman Reigns, if you will, unbeatable, unstoppable. Nothing can come in my way. So I do ask the question, and to Patrick, I want to ask, and to just Alyx as well. Do we see a one-on-one simple match, no interference, or will Nia Jax play a part in this match? Therefore, dirty hands and something might happen.
What do you think, Patrick?
It's interesting to think about. The whole issue that you just described kind of plays into my personal feelings of, we have a Raw champion, a SmackDown champion. It's, the women's and the men's and the tags, which looks like they're going to be split up at this WrestleMania. That's something I've always been against. I always felt like everything is better when you only have one champion at each particular level, because it makes it more of a desirable prize. I get with Roman that there was the issue where he just was dominant for so long that they just kind of caved and created another world title just to have somebody else on the show. But with Rhea, it's I understand what you're saying, Alyx, about how she hasn't had too many memorable matches. I think of all of the title defenses she's had, the only one I really remember is the one she had in Puerto Rico, and that's only because Zelina Vega was so over with the hometown crowd.
Oh,
but
God, yeah.
But they put so much into her, and she's so over right now, and she's one of the most over acts in the company. I would think she would have to win this match. I understand why they're doing this match, because Becky Lynch a few years ago was like the Stone Cold Steve Austin of women's wrestling, and she was the mad over one. But It's not 2019 anymore, and I would be very surprised if Becky Lynch won this match, because it's, Rhea's clearly the much hotter act at this point. But there have been times where we thought Becky might lose, and she ended up winning. I remember, the COVID Mania? She faced Shayna Baszler, right? We all thought Shayna was going to win, and she didn't. So it's, I could see them going with kind of the safe hand in Becky Lynch, but I'm looking at this situation. I think Rhea's just too over. And as far as future matches for her, she's not quite at that point where Roman is, where when Roman beat Cody last year, I was like, okay, so who else is going to beat him? And we kind of got left with not a whole heck of a lot. Rhea's got a couple of options if they do something with her, with the SmackDown crew. There's Bianca. And I think if she can grow and develop as an in-ring worker, I think Jade Cargill is a perfect opponent for someone like Rhea.
Goodness.
Perfect match. I thought they might do that match at WrestleMania this year, but I guess they want to kind of slowly introduce Jade and let her grow and develop at a slower pace. But I say keep the belt on Rhea and keep her going strong. That's the only way you can go with this, I think.
Yeah, I honestly, just to kind of add to that before we get to the next match here, I just kind of feel like we also have to consider the fact that Becky is still negotiating her contract with WWE, and we don't know what she's going to be doing. So that actually adds to what you guys are saying. Like, I keep saying that, well, okay, I'm thinking about the future. Well, I have to think about that as well. She hasn't signed a contract yet. Rhea has, she already signed her. She's going to be here for the next, I think, 3-5 years from now. Yeah. So, hey.
Rebecca Knox is all elite.
Tony would throw a lot of money at her. Come on now.
Oh, he would. He would.
Hey, we're not going to get into that conversation, but yeah, the more I hear you guys talk about it, I think I might change my prediction, because I'm thinking, ooh, that is a good point everybody's making. I'm going to stick with Becky, but honestly, if Rhea retains, please, for the love of God, give her some opponents, because that's my biggest issue. Give her someone that can create some interest on TV. If you do that, I'm all good.
I think that was supposed to be Raquel. I think this whole thing with Raquel's skin issue caused a wrench in the plan, because you guys have seen Rhea and Raquel on NXT give us one of the craziest beat down front, backstage, side stage, on top of the stage matches ever. So I really was looking forward to seeing that on the main roster. And right when they were getting there, Raquel's out.
Yeah. Yeah, that
Super
could've been
chat over
something.
here from Kenneth. Maybe crazy to say, with Triple H in charge of creating and Rock's help at WrestleMania 40, if not in WrestleManias to come, has a chance to be the best WrestleMania ever. Maybe better than 17, but who knows? Hey, anything is possible. With this card, anything literally could happen, and we might actually get that. But
Anything could
17 is a high order. I don't know, man. I don't know.
I'll say this. I thought last year's was very, very close to being like an arguable best Mania of all time. And then the finish to the main event happened. It's like, well,
Then that finish happened, right?
Right.
Then you're like,
oh, this is great. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I want to get your thoughts on this too, A and B. This one over here from JR Duggan. Thank you for the super chats, by the way.
Hey,
Becky
JR.
Lynch.
What's up, buddy?
Becky Lynch needs to turn into physical Natalya, who faced Rhea on Raw a while back, to have a possible chance, in my opinion. I completely forgot about that awesome match they had.
Oh, I didn't forget about it.
We talked about it last night.
Yeah, because that was the only match in Natalia's I'll ever be like, wow. Like, that was when she made me be like, okay, you can really go at it, because she was always just, technical or whatever, but I never saw her really hitting hard and taking those hits, and that match was fire.
She busted out whatever that piercing is under the lip. That it ripped.
Oh, of Rhea
and
Ripley,
that busted
yep.
out, so she will never have that piercing again. She will always remember that match. Natalya reminded everybody of just who in the hell she is, coming from the Heart Dungeon. And that's what I'm saying. And we've seen this before. Take the cuffs off these ladies and let them do work. And when they do that, they show up and show out every time. That was a PLE worthy match.
That was.
That is the issue that I have with Becky Lynch. She's inconsistent in that ring. She can go there when she wants to, but more often than not, she's generally fooling around. She's not really hitting with her hit. She's not. Look, the whole point of pro wrestling, not going to get into this whole diatribe because we know we got to move on. Your job is to make us believe that what we're watching is 1,000% legit. Literally your job. If you are incapable of doing that every single time you are on a televised event, put your boots in the middle of the ring and go home. That's how I feel about it. I don't want to see somebody phoning it in. Okay, that's not what I'm paying for. Show up at WrestleMania. If we get that level, agreed, then we can discuss it. Right now, nah.
All right.
Well, with that said, we're going to go ahead and move on to a match that I think we're all going to be in agreement on who ends up winning, because it is the debut of the Storm. Jade Cargill with Naomi and Bianca. Man, that is incredible. For someone like me to see that team at WrestleMania, hey, we can talk about that all day, every day, but we'll do that for another time. Jade Cargill's team taking on Damage Control. I'm going to go first on this one. I'm going to keep it short and sweet. You do not have Jade Cargill lose in her debut match at WrestleMania. So we all know she's winning. I just got one issue with it. Asuka is going to eat her 6th consecutive loss at WrestleMania, 0-6 if she loses at WrestleMania. It makes me sick to my stomach. The fact that this woman went on the longest undefeated streak, but then becomes the anti-Undertaker at WrestleMania. I don't get it. I don't like it. But unfortunately, I can't do anything about it, because guess what? It's Jade's night. She's winning. Oh, well. Patrick, what you got to say about this match?
Yeah, poor Asuka, but, I guess you could say she's consistently on the card for WrestleMania, which, isn't always a guarantee, so you can at least give her that. But the only way I can see Jade's team losing this is if there's some kind of a miscommunication between Bianca and Jade goes beast mode and just beats up her partners and leaves. Like, she pulls a Bad News Brown from Survivor Series 89 and just leaves and just leaves them to the wolves. That's the only way I could see that team losing. But Jade is, whatever limitations she might have in the ring, and people have said that she's not the best worker, but she looks like a superstar. And I said that in AEW when she came out dressed as Chitara and She-Hulk and all the different things she did. She looks like a megastar, so they need to promote her strongly, and I think her team wins it.
A and B, what you think?
All right, so we're actually going to be divided on this. I already think I know you well enough to know that we're going to be divided.
Speak on it.
Really?
I agree with you that I agree with actually both of the things Patrick just said. When at the end of her coming in to help them, there was a moment before they pointed at the sign where I was like, is she about to hurt them too? Because she is good as a heel. And I don't think they're going to have, I don't know how long they're really going to have her in a faction. Now, to me, it would make sense to let the faction go for a little bit, show their dominance together, and then have her turn, and then have her and Bianca go, because that would be fire. And they should not waste that out the gate, to me. But I also think that they just got the Kabuki Warriors back, and Damage Control just finally is not just a joke.
Yeah.
And they kind of need the win, which is why I think that he's going to go for them. But you can't have Jade win in her opening, lose in her opening match. And so unless something shady happens and she does go rogue or it causes a riff already, but I don't want a riff already. Just like they did with Bobby and the Street Profits, where we're so excited. The moment that they were standing face to face with Judgment Day in the ring, everybody was going crazy.
Yeah.
And then they so quickly had dissension, and within that, it was like within 2 weeks or something stupid, there was dissension. And then we're like, what are you doing? And then they never recovered, and they don't know what to do with them. And what they're doing with Karrion Kross and AOP should be better than it is on paper. And I am a fan of Karrion Kross, but they have not figured this out. And so I'm a little worried that they aren't going to do this right, but I'm hoping that they do, but somehow not ruin Damage Control, because they did just finally kind of get validated. I don't know. So, but I am going to go with Jade Cargill and Bianca and Naomi.
I think we all watched SmackDown. Who won on SmackDown? Did the Kabuki Warriors win on SmackDown?
No. Last week?
Right, they wrestled on Friday night, right?
Oh,
Oh
yes,
no,
they
it was
did.
Dakota Kai. It was Dakota Kai.
Oh, it was
Dakota Kai
that's
wrestled.
and
right.
Bianca Belair. Who won
Yeah.
that match?
I think Dakota Kai did. Didn't she?
Bianca
I
won
don't
that one.
remember.
Bianca
Huh?
won that.
Oh, she
Bianca
did.
won that match.
Oh,
Okay.
it was Bianca. Oh, Naomi
Right.
came in after.
Yes.
And then
Yeah.
Jade,
So
got
Bianca
you.
won, and then the Kabuki Warriors came in and started
They
beating
came
her
out
up, and
and
then
did the
Naomi.
Got you,
Yeah.
got
Right,
you.
Bianca
Yeah,
won. All right.
that's right.
So, Alyx, Patrick, my better half, I hear y'all. I
Uh
understand y'all.
Go ahead.
Hit him
But
with
I
it.
gotta disagree with y'all,
There it is.
homeboys.
There it is, right there.
All right, I gotta disagree with you. Look, here's the situation. I'm gonna try to keep it short and sweet. It depends on what is the long game here for Jade Cargill, Bianca Belair, and Naomi.
Right.
Now, right now, I like what I'm seeing. We got some strong people in this ring, strong competitors, but we got some alpha females. As we have seen, alpha females, alpha males don't always get along
Right.
in the long run. We got some
Mhm.
miscommunication. They don't necessarily want to tag in, things of that nature. So, because we like to keep things relatively under the kayfabe umbrella, because you had Dakota Kai come out with the loss tonight, what I'm seeing here, as
Last
sucky
Friday.
as it is, I actually see, and I think they need it. I think the Damage Control, I think the Kabuki Warriors are going to come away with the win due to a miscommunication issue with Bianca Belair's team. I do not feel that Jade Cargill is going to catch the pin. She doesn't need that, and that would be unfortunate. I think the pin is going to be either Bianca or Naomi, is what I'm seeing here. So I'm actually going with Damage Control for the win.
Told you.
I'm
Damage
happy because
Control
that
for the
means
win.
Asuka gets her victory at WrestleMania. So
Because it would be nice. It would be nice, but it's predictable, and I like the swerve. I don't like the easy go-to. It on paper, it seems like, okay, we're finally getting her in a match. It's not a one-on-one match. We did see her get down at the Rumble. We're finally getting to see her in a match. Very excited for this. But we have no idea how these ladies are going to be able to compete together. No idea. Is the chemistry going to be off? Is it going to be some issues? Is it going to be some miscommunication? I'm telling you, Jade Cargill is a natural heel. I liked her as a heel. She wasn't great in the ring, but I'm hoping that now that they got her on the grandest stage of them all, they feel confident that she can at least be in a match with these two ladies and make sure that everything is looking good. But I do not feel like she is going to get along in the way that we are hoping, and that is the reason why I'm going for Damage CTRL.
Man, you know what?
I have one more point about this, actually, not to, keep it going even longer, but
Please.
it would actually benefit Damage CTRL to win because Iyo Sky is defending the title in night 2, so it would make sense to give them momentum heading into night 2. So I could also see that argument coming into play.
You could use it.
Hey,
so I can't wait to get to that prediction.
Again, I am okay with either one of those decisions. I just think for me, it's Jay's first night, and they're building her. If you saw that entrance on Friday Night SmackDown, yeah, she's gonna win all the championships within the next 3 years because that's her contract's a 3-year contract. She's gonna win them all. I guarantee it. Just keep an eye on her.
Absolutely. But we've also been saying Naomi is as great as it is for her to be back. We said it. She was catching more L's than she was dubs. That's just the reality of the situation. I said because of receipts.
Yeah.
Like you came back, but you did walk out. So we're gonna
you ain't
have
just
to
walking into no championship. No.
So if anybody in that team can take the L,
it would be Naomi.
it'd be Naomi.
Speaking of championships, Intercontinental Championship match here. We got Sami Zayn taking on Gunther, who has been holding that championship with a vice grip for over 600 days. Incredible. And guess what? If you guys don't mind me going first on this one too, I don't see it changing. I thought about this too for a minute. Listen, if we're going into WrestleMania with the idea that a lot of championships are going to change hands, I predicted Rhea to lose her belt. I think other people are going to lose their belts as well. Not to give any spoilers, just let you think about that. Somebody has to retain. They can't all lose their belts. And I think this is the match, without question, that's going to have the retaining. I think Gunther is doing way too well as the IC champ. And no offense to Sami Zayn, I love him. This is not his story. This is not his place to take that belt off of Gunther. I still think, whether you disagree or not, we'll have that discussion when we get to you guys. Chad Gable's the guy to beat him. Chad Gable, so far, they've been telling the story. He is the closest one to come close to beating Gunther. And they're using Chad Gable to give Sami Zayn some relevance, which also lets you know that technically if Sami beats Gunther, it's because he had Chad Gable's help. Regardless of how you look at it, this is Chad Gable's story. He should be the one to beat Gunther, not Sami. That being said, this actually might be, I'm not taking anything away from any other match on this card. This could be match of the night. Based off of who's inside the ring and the story they're telling, Sami's going to get his ass kicked. It's going to be a massacre. Sami's going to get up. He's going to get knocked down. He's going to keep getting up. He's going to keep getting up. That is where Sami Zayn dwells. That is where he is at his best. So I believe, regardless of him losing, this is exactly the kind of match that he's made for. And I think him and Gunther are going to have a classic. Like the IC title match last year was a classic, I'm expecting this one to come, if not close to it, it'll be the exact same kind of quality. But going into, I guess, Patrick, we'll go to Patrick here. Where's your thoughts on this IC title match?
Well, it's not the IC title match I thought we were going to get when I was thinking ahead back in December or January. I think the idea I had was Lesnar versus Gunther, but something happened that kept Brock Lesnar off the card. I can't imagine forever. Certain events took place. So I guess as a plan B goes, I mean, this is going to be a basic, the monster beats the holy hell out of the underdog babyface who gets his hope spots in. It's a classic dynamic, classic formula. Last year's IC title match was the kind of New Japan strong style, never open weight, slap the holy crap out of each other type of match. This one's going to be, I think, more of a one-sided beatdown where Sami perseveres. And I wouldn't be surprised if Sami won the belt here, but I don't think he should. So I'm going to go with Gunther retaining because I think that there's more to do with him. Especially, we all think of the IC title as a stepping stone title to main event stardom. The World Heavyweight Champion is going to have somebody to work with after Mania. So who better than the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion to do a possible title versus title match?
Yeah.
That's a good point, man.
Yeah.
So you're going with Gunther, right?
I'm going with Gunther.
All right. A and B, what y'all think?
Okay, so it's going to be like you guys said, right? They're going at it. It just looks like a beat down. And then Sammy's going to come back, and then he's
hulking
going to
up, brother.
fight. He's going to hulk up, and then he's going to look like he's about to pull out that victory like how Jay did.
Yeah.
And Chad Gable's going to turn. And Chad Gable's going to cause him the loss.
Wow.
And Chad Gable's going heel.
Bring it in.
Oh, you
I can
agree?
see that. I can see
Bring it
that.
in. Ladies and gentlemen, come on now. You already know.
Because
Here's the
Sami Zayn
situation.
stole his story. So there you go. They could do that.
Here's the situation.
Would you turn him heel though? Like people really want to see him win that title. I see where you're going with it, and it makes sense. But would you really do that? I mean, that's a big turn. Jesus.
Maybe he needs to be heel to win this over this heel.
This is the man that is frustrated. All right. And the writing's been on the wall for a minute. We have not seen Alpha Academy come out together in quite some time. Okay. They've been separating them quietly. And you've got this whole situation now with Chad Gable over here being Mick and Sami Zayn is the Rocky. Come on, Rock. No. Okay. Because he also said, you know what? It's fine. It just meant more. But you know what? Let's just move on. He's not settled with not having that IC title around his waist. The fact that Sami Zayn caught that, and let's also keep it real, his shoulders were not pinned to the mat. We all saw it. So my man not only feels like he can beat Gunther, he also feels like Sami Zayn robbed him. Again, going kayfabe, robbed him of his opportunity. I do not believe for 1 second that Chad Gable is in this to help Sami Zayn win it. And hey, congratulations, buddy. Let me pour some champagne on your head. Hells to the no. All right, I think it's going to be a fantastic match. Sami Zayn, yeah, he's about to get pillar to post. He's about to get his arse handed to him. He's going to hang in there. He's going to hulk up. He's going to do what he's going to do. And just when it looks like, oh my gosh, Sami Zayn might actually pull this out, boom. Chad Gable comes in there, lays him out. 1, 2, 3. What the hell did Chad Gable just do? Crowd is booing. Crowd doesn't even know what's going on because you don't even really see Chad with Otis. Chad's on a whole different thing right now. He is going to be the sleeper agent that's going to cost Sami Zayn this title match. Sami's going to move on with Chad Gable. And like you said, the longest reigning IC title holder will move on to something else. So my money is on retention. Gunther! Jordan!
Anything you want to add to that, Patrick?
No, I think he lined it up pretty well. I think I could absolutely see that scenario playing out that way.
We all agree on the IC title match. That's the first time. Might be the last time we all agree on something. But I think it's going to be, and I say this with all sincerity, one of the best matches of the entire weekend. I just think it's not Sami Zayn's story to finish. But speaking of stories to finish, Judgment Day is having one of Patrick's favorite matches, Spot Fest galore, ladies and gentlemen. Patrick, I want you to lead us off with this lovely, dare I say, I got to get this right, 6-pack ladder match tag team championship with 12 men. And I'm going to name them all right here. We got Judgment Day, DIY, The New Day, Awesome Truth, of course, Grayson Waller and Austin Theory, and the New Catch Republic. What do you feel about it?
Well, this is my old man yelling at the sky deal, my Jim Cornette kind of stance on these type of matches. I've gotten to a point where these multi-person ladder matches are just white noise to me. Like, they're just mindless spots in matches that have very little to no story. and it's just bodies flying all over the place. And I've become so desensitized to it. It's a match that has been done way too often. It was innovative back in the early 2000s when it was the Dudleys, the Hardys, and Edge and Christian, but they've just done it so many times, and it's AEW's done it too much. WWE has done it too much. TNA has done it too much with the Ultimate X matches, which I see as just another version of the ladder match. It's just too much. And they just, and I feel bad for feeling that way because these guys go out there and they kill themselves in these matches with these really dangerous spots. And I know I'm not going to remember it in some cases by the end of the night because it's just mindless nonsense the entire time. And this one's disappointing to me because I felt like they had a perfectly good storyline lined up where with Awesome Truth, where R-Truth did that whole thing where he thought he was in the Judgment Day. It was hilarious. We all loved it. And then they booted him out and he hooked up with his old tag team partner, The Miz, and now they're going to go after the tag titles. There's your story. And I think that was a perfectly acceptable tag team title match for the card, but you throw 4 other teams in there and all of that just kind of gets lost in the shuffle. And I think it's unfortunate. I'm the type of, give me story, give me character, give me purpose over mindless action that I'm not going to remember in a week. So I was very disappointed when I heard they signed this. Seeing the rule structure and how it's lined up, it seems like this is going to be an excuse to split up the Raw and SmackDown tag titles. I hate that even more because, as I said earlier in the stream, I prefer having one champion per division, per level. The whole like splitting amongst Raw and SmackDown creates too many titles. It makes being a champion mean far less. That's my major criticism of AEW, of New Japan, and of WWE. It's like there's too many belts. And I think it was great when we had just one set of tag champions. It was awesome. We all loved it because we had one truly definitive best tag team in the company. And it meant something when Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens won the tag titles last year because they were the only tag titles in the men's division. So I'm not a fan of this at all. You're going to get your spots. You're going to get your action. I'm sure, Austin Theory and Kofi Kingston and all of those guys are going to do something nuts, but it's not going to mean a whole heck of a lot. And I just don't like the match. I'll predict DIY to win one of the belts and Austin Theory and Grayson Waller to win the other set of belts. And that's just me pulling names out of a hat because I don't even know what to say as far as the result goes, but I'm thoroughly uninterested in this match, unfortunately.
That's exactly why I went to you first.
Because this is for the undisputed title. So do you think there's going to be a situation where it'll be like a double count and so they'll split the belts?
I think the match will end.
Right?
I'm looking at it right now. It says the match will end after both titles under the Undisputed Championship banner have been retrieved. So to me, that means one team comes down with one and another team comes down with another. So
I got you.
Yeah.
So this could be their way to split it is what's going to happen. Okay. Got it.
With that said, you know what, A and B? Well, what do you feel about that? Now that you know that there's a possibility that these belts can be split up, not saying that they can't be taken by one team, but there's a possibility that 2 teams can walk out with the belts. What are your thoughts on that, and who do you think is going to win?
Ladies first.
I gotta disagree with you, Patrick. I hate that they have all belts on one tag team because we have 2 brands. If we didn't have 2 brands, I would feel that way. But the reality is that unless they are moonlighting on every show, which they were doing for a while with the Judgment Day, then if they're on SmackDown, Raw tag teams are fighting for nothing because there's no title on Raw. There's no tag team titles on Raw. And the same way that the NXT women no longer have tag team titles and they got all these tag teams fighting for nothing. But you fight for titles to me. So I'm so excited that they're going to split these belts up. And I am excited to see these champions on each brand be able to go after the belts. I'm not quite sure if they're going to let Judgment Day retain because they're doing all this with them. So maybe they're going to have someone else get the belts. New Day has had them so many times, and I don't know. I kind of feel, I know they're pushing DIY right now, so that is a good guess. So I could see like that for one of them to me is between DIY and Judgment Day. Although I kind of feel like they were pushing Theory and Austin, but they already have been pushing Dissension in those 2. So that wouldn't make sense to give them titles. But the other title, not only is it going to be the Awesome Truth, but it will be our Truth because everybody wants to see Truth have something around his waist.
Yeah.
We just do, especially after what happened with him in the Judgment Day. He is gold. He should have gold, which those stupid belts are not. They're just ugly nickel, whatever crap. But I want to see Truth go up there and with confusion grab the belts. I just love it.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about it on the show before. We're big proponents for the women's division and the fact that in 2024 they're still not on the level with the men. Now, granted, there's a lot of different reasons for that, but you had the women's tag team titles, you had the women's NXT tag team titles. They combined them and they threw the NXT tag team titles in the trash, not to be seen from again. There's no reason. Every wrestler in professional wrestling wants to be a champion. Not every champion can be the champion. That's why you've got other divisions, other belts. And I do not like this grave division that we have, that the women have to defend against all three brands. The men do not. They only have to go to SmackDown or Raw. Now we're going to get a situation where it's going to be split again, finally. So now SmackDown will get theirs, Raw will get theirs. And we had this division because of the Raw and SmackDown split. So it's still uneven with the women, and that rubs me the wrong way. You're just showing the women that we don't care about you as much as we do the men. There's no disputing that. That just is what it is. But with that said, Alyx, can you put that graphic back up real quick?
Yes, I will do that for you right here. Here we go.
So here's how I'm looking at it. Short and sweet. Judgment Day will not be retaining either one of these title belts. I feel, and this is going to be crazy, I'm sorry, Pete Dunne. I'm sorry, Master Bates. I like saying that because it's just funny. That goes crazy. This goes to one strap. One set will go to the Awesome Truth, and the other straps will go to Austin Theory and Grayson Waller. Those will be your new tag team champions.
Dave Meltzer's reporting that they may not even be, they may be pulled from this. That WWE is discussing pulling them and replacing them with Deadly Truth somehow. So Deadly Pretty. Deadly Pretty.
Pretty Deadly, I think.
Pretty
Deadly Pretty, whatever. Pretty Deadly, whatever the heck.
That's funny.
So I can't see them giving them titles if they're considering taking them out of there.
Yeah, I sincerely hope that is not the case. We are not fans of Pretty Deadly at all. I feel like you need to go back to NXT and call it a day. But if it stands as we see it, that is who I say gets these straps.
Okay.
I will say there's one thing I want to see out of this match.
All of their gold all around.
One thing I do want to see out of this match, if Awesome Truth wins the belts, I want to see R-Truth grab the belt and then start hugging the Judgment Day. It's like, we did it, boys. We did it. That's what I want to see. If they want me to be interested in this at all, they will do something like that with R-Truth. It'll be super funny.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
What an ending.
I would love that.
Well, that was such a great way. And I'm going to keep mine short and sweet. This is a popcorn fest. I'm not expecting this to be TLC 2 from WrestleMania 17. No one should. Nothing's going to top that match. That is one of those matches that just never be replicated. But if it's just a spot fest, popcorn, high-flying, crazy spot, crashing through ladders, crashing through tables, I don't know, maybe we'll throw some chairs in there. If it's just one of those matches where I could turn my brain off and just enjoy it, we need that. Every once in a while, we get these big-time heavy matches. You just kind of need something to just relax, let the crowd chill, and just recover from. That's what this match is. I'm perfectly fine with it. I do think they are splitting the titles. I don't think one team is walking out with it. If I had to pick, Awesome Truth. R-Truth is literally the most over person in this ring right now. I think he's actually one of the most over talents, period, in WWE. His t-shirts, the Judgment Day R-Truth t-shirts, are literally competing with The Rock, Cody Rhodes, Jey Uso, CM Punk. It's in the top 5.
Yep.
So
we did.
Hey, you know what I'm talking about. So yeah, R-Truth is definitely, I'm guessing, taking the Raw belts. SmackDown belts, I don't know anything about freaking Waller and Theory getting taken out of the match. I don't trust Dave Meltzer. I'm not saying Dave Meltzer is not credible anymore, but a lot of his sources have been way off lately. So I'm going to just, for now, I'm going to go with my gut and say they walk out with the SmackDown belts. You got to have a heel team win one belt and then a babyface team win the other. So if Awesome Truth is winning the Raw belts and then that leaves the heel team to win the SmackDown belts, and that's
Okay, that makes
So
sense.
we here on this one, Alex?
we here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I probably shouldn't have let that article sway me either, because that would have been my choice.
Yeah.
But then I thought, well, if they're discussing taking them out, then they're not going to give them the belts. That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
But if that wasn't true, I probably would have went with them too. So I don't know.
All
That
right.
makes sense.
All right.
Can I make a
Love it.
point about Austin Theory? I've said this before on my channel, but it amazes me about Theory how this guy beat John Cena at WrestleMania last year. I think he's less over now than he was back then.
That's what John Cena predicted. He said
Which
if
is
you beat
He
unbelievable.
him,
literally called that.
you're going to go
Unbelievable.
down.
He literally
It was
called
like-
that.
He prophesied.
Well, he was only, I mean, we all know he was getting pushed because of a certain somebody that's no longer with the company. And it's not like he's not necessarily skilled, but I mean, there's just something, I think, Alex, I heard you say it in one of your lives, like there's just a je ne sais quoi that I can't put my finger on that just doesn't, she's all about him.
I'm all about him. Let me tell you something. He's going to get past this like Roman got past it, like John Cena got past it. He will one day be a John Cena. I promise you. I promise you. It's not today. He's young. He's got a long way to go. You're tripping. But you're tripping. Think about how much everybody hated Roman when they were pushing him. Everybody hated Rock when they were pushing him. That happens to everybody, but that doesn't mean he can't recover. He has got the whole package.
He's got the whole world in his hands. No, he does not.
Hey, don't be using Ray stuff now.
He's got raw ability and he's got skills. He just needs to figure out how to put everything into a complete puzzle. And some
he's young.
guys
He's got
make
time.
it work and some guys don't. So we'll just have to
We'll
wait and see
see.
with him.
He's 26 years old. The world is his oyster, so who knows what
He'll
he
get
can do
there.
in a couple
He'll
2
get
years.
there. He'll get
So since you guys said got the whole world in their hands, let's answer this one really quickly. You guys can chime in, but I'm going to answer this. Dial F for Fem, $5 super chat. Thank you so much, sir. After the Uncle Howdy teaser at the end of the Bray Wyatt documentary, is there any chance we see the re-debut of Taylor Rotunda, Bo Dallas at WrestleMania? Rest in peace, Wyndham Rotunda. Can we leave it alone? Can we just leave all of Bray Wyatt stuff alone? Leave it to Bray and let that be what it is that we remember him from. If I see him come in as Uncle Howdy doing all the Fiend Bray Wyatt stuff, it's just going to remind me of Bray Wyatt. I don't want that. If you're going to bring Bo Dallas back, let him come back as Bo Dallas from NXT. Remember that Bo Dallas? That's an awesome gimmick. Bring that back. Bo Lee, let's bring that back. Don't bring him back as Uncle Howdy. I don't want to remember him as Bray's sidekick because that's just going to make me miss Bray. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. I actually really liked Bo Dallas in NXT. I remember they did the bit where security was chasing him around, and I was like, oh, they're doing like a Keystone Cops thing with him. This is really funny. And they never recaptured that on the main roster. And it's like, you can do something with Bo as a funny comedy character, but bringing back Uncle Howdy, that was the weakest thing that Bray did. So I don't know why we would want to bring that back, even if Bray was still with us. But I haven't seen the Bray Wyatt documentary yet, so I'm not even entirely sure what's being referred to there. But I would be okay with some kind of a tribute to Bray or something, but bringing back Uncle Howdy as a permanent character, I think we're fine.
What y'all think, AB?
Because his dad is being inducted, because we have this documentary so soon before the Hall of Fame, before WrestleMania, it almost feels like they want to do it because in their minds, them meaning the Rotundas, like this is an homage to him. And so I feel like I understand what you're saying, and I get the point of that. It kind of feels to me like they feel like they are almost obligated to do that to complete this story, to coin a phrase right now, of what this could have been. That's my only thought as to why I think they might actually end up doing it.
Well, first of all, we've been thinking they were going to do that forever because Bo Dallas has always been Uncle Howdy. That's why Bray was in the ring and Uncle Howdy was attacking him, because he was always Bo Dallas. And Bo Dallas is just as genius with his scary, spooky, supernatural stuff. They were both into that. They shared that together. And I don't think it would be a permanent thing. I think if they did do it, Uncle Howdy could only go so far. That's why Uncle Howdy was kind of like a background character, but Bray was bringing back another Fiend, more crazier, freakier Fiend, which you'll see when you see the documentary. I haven't seen the whole documentary yet. We've been so busy with his birthday.
Woohoo!
So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing that. But so I would like to see Uncle Howdy come out. I don't think it would be a permanent thing. I think that Bray would want to see Bo come out again and do a tribute to him because that still was his genius and because they were in the middle of doing something. And I feel like that would be a great honor to him. And I miss Bo. I miss Bo. Just bring him in some kind of way. But I don't think it would be permanent. I think it would be a temporary thing.
Yeah.
You know, kind of like an homage, but I don't think it would be. I think it would be like a temporary thing.
Could be.
And maybe somehow they could relate it to Alexa Bliss because what are they going to do with her when they bring her back? Because she was so in between trying to be a little bit of this and a little bit of that. It wasn't really working. And I really want to see Uncle Howdy reunite Alexa Bliss and Liv. I just think the two of them could be like creepy twin evil something because they are so similar.
Maybe.
And then like, you know, he doesn't have to stay, but I just think that would be so cool for them to kind of carry that forward since Liv is the sister-in-law.
Maybe.
Just saying.
Something to think about. You're a super chat champion.
Ridiculous.
$3
champions.
$50. Jesus Christ almighty. You trying to go for my super chat championship as well? Calm down, sir. I'm late as hell.
He's stopping with the big dogs.
Oh, Lord. Hey, nickname I going to be coming out the woodwork. You better stop. Okay, let me speak to it in the kind of voice he wants to be. I'm late as hell. I was making some jello, but I got Becky to send me. Team Jade and Awesome Truth, by the way. Uncle Howdy coming on Raw after WrestleMania, actually. Which sucks because WWE will have full control of it. But let's give Bo a chance. Wow. Hey, anything's possible. Again, I just would rather just not see him come in as Uncle Howdy. Bo comes back, sweet. Come back as Bo Dallas from NXT. We'll just get to it from there. Thank you so much, Street Dickless. We're gonna go ahead and move things on along here. This is gonna be a quick one. We got a tag match. Lucha Libre Central, Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee LWO versus Legado del Fantasma, Santos Escobar, and Rey's literal hell spawn, Dominik Mysterio. You gotta give it to Dom. Rey won last year. Let Dom win it this year. And I say this because I don't know if you guys remember on Monday Night Raw, Dominik Mysterio brought in some company.
Yeah.
Legado del Fantasma and Andrade. Are we going to be seeing a potential faction come from this? I see it happening. I don't know if you guys are fans of Los Ingobernables, but we could be seeing a little bit of something like that happening. And I think the genesis of that is going to happen at WrestleMania. Like I said, Rey won last year. Let Dom win this one. Dom is one of my favorite heels. The heat he gets, the kind of heat he gets is what heels live for. Let him carry that heat, start his own stable, leave Judgment Day, because I'm predicting that right now. He's leaving Judgment Day, and he's going to lead his own stable with Andrade and Legado del Fantasma, and he's going to do all kinds of great things with it. But that's just my opinion. A and B, how we feeling about the tag match and who you got winning?
I totally agree with you, actually. Dom has been losing forever, right?
Mhm.
The only time he was really winning was when Mommy Rhea was making sure it was happening. And he never really wins clean. And like you said, he already lost this last year. But it is time, I think, for him to step out of Judgment Day. And I think he needs this. So I agree.
Yeah, you know what? I think it depends because we got somebody who wants to talk about it. Carlito wants to talk about it. You chose him over me. That's not cool.
Isn't there talk of Carlito turning on Ray too? I hope that doesn't happen.
That's
Damn.
not cool. Okay? I personally feel that we are going to have Dom and Santos win this. Also because of outside interference of a jealous Carlito.
Everybody turns on Ray? Come on, bro.
I hate to say it this way.
Poor Ray.
And I
Poor
like
Ray.
the interaction that that Carlito and Santos have been having. Okay, but like I said, there's a lot. This is kind of messy right now. We have backstage Judgment Day. We have backstage Legado del Fantasma. In comes Andrade. I don't know what the heck is going on right now. LWO is kind of moonlighting on NXT. We have Zelina Vega not mixing it up with Elektra Lopez like I thought. You were replaced, quite frankly. Elektra Lopez was in the truck, and then they pulled off the camera, and they said, get out. We're pulling up somebody else.
Selena in the next block, get out, walk
That
back.
happened. All right, so we've had no interaction there.
He had a little.
I hate to say it, but yeah, quite frankly, Santos, Legado, and Dirty Dom.
But you can't have Carlito and Andrade on this time. You're just what? That's too much power.
I'm not gonna say that there is gonna be a turn on Rey. All I'm gonna say is there will be some interference. There will be some interference. We could see an Andrade sighting. We could see a Carlito sighting. I think we're gonna see shenanigans. These shenanigans will cause Rey Mysterio's team to lose.
Wow.
Fair enough.
Before I give it to Patrick, once again, your Super Chat champion, 3 Dickless is in the building. Let me go ahead and move this out of the way so we can see it. Sorry about that. Yeah, there we go. He says, don't no one give a damn about no Dragon Lee. Those masks are lit, though. My prediction is everyone turns on Rey. Even Angle coming out and turning on Rey. Bucket trips.
Why
Lord
his wife
have
got to
mercy.
turn on him? What in the world?
Dang, you brought the whole wife in
Oh,
there?
Angie.
Breaking up
That's
happy
always
homes,
messed us
3
up,
Diglets.
dude.
Lord have mercy. Patrick, what do you think about all this, buddy?
Well, as far as everybody turning on Rey Mysterio, I think he's topped Hulk Hogan as far as how many people have turned on the babyface.
Christ.
And you know, hey, Hulk's wife turned on him too, so they could very well do that.
Oh my God.
But, but as far as this
Brother.
match goes, when it was first signed, my immediate thought was WCW's cruiserweight division will never die, because this feels like a 1997 cruiserweight match that you would see on a pay-per-view. And I don't mean that as a knock. I mean that as a compliment. I think it's kind of cool to have a different flavor of match, especially at something as big as WrestleMania. As far as who wins, I agree, like Dirty Dominik loses a lot, but that's kind of his gimmick. We all hate him and we love to watch it. He's like, I don't know, Dick Dastardly in Wacky Races or something, where he cheats and we all hate him, and then he humiliates himself and loses, and we all have a good time. I actually had the idea like a few months ago. His WrestleMania match should be Dirty Dom versus John Cena, where he thinks, oh, Cena's on this losing streak, I can beat him, and and then Cena beats him and he gets humiliated. I think that would have been super funny. But as far as this match goes, I think they're going to go for more feel good. Rey Mysterio gets a win, so I say Mysterio, Dragon Lee take it here.
Okay.
Wow. All right. So we're
Does
winding
you
down.
give your prediction on this?
Yeah, he agreed.
Okay. Look, honestly, I almost don't care who wins. The only thing I don't want is just a straight match.
Right.
We
Well,
have a lot of players.
shenanigans.
Yeah, we have a lot of players here on the sidelines. Y'all got to get involved. We need. There shouldn't be any bathroom break matches. I don't want to say, because we got a lot of talent in that ring. I love the luchador style. I know not everybody is down with it, but really, you got to get people talking. You want people talking about your match after the match.
Yeah.
That's the whole point. And I think you need to do that with some shenanigans.
We're going to have a little fun here.
Absolutely.
Patrick, I would like you to open this one up. We're getting into the
Okay.
final 2 matches of WrestleMania Night 1. Mr. Patrick, Jey Uso, Jimmy Uso, are you yeet or are you no yeet?
I am yeet all the way.
Let's
the
go.
Battle of the Brothers. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but on commentary, they've been saying that this is the 3rd brother versus brother match at WrestleMania. Have they completely forgotten that The Undertaker and Kane are supposed to be brothers? Because it's actually, if we're going by kayfabe rules, then it's like, yeah, this is actually the 5th brother versus brother match in WrestleMania.
Right.
Mm.
But in any case, I mean, this is a match, we all called this one months ago. It's like we knew that it was going to be Jimmy and Jey at WrestleMania. I think Jey has gotten mad over, one of the top baby faces on Raw right now. I think he's done great. I think this storyline practically writes itself, and I think it'll be one of the major highlights of Night 1. As far as who goes over, I say I'm always a fan of, like, give it to the hot hand. I say reward the guy who's gotten over really huge, and I say give it to Jey and let him have his redemption after his brother screwed him back at SummerSlam.
A and B, are you yeet or no yeet?
Oh, you know I'm yeet all day. I bought a Jay shirt. You got my Jay
You
Uso
did.
shirt. Look, dude, you can't get screwed out of your match with Roman by Jimmy. Get screwed out of your match with Gunther with Jimmy by Jimmy, and then don't get the win over Jimmy. You have to bring this full circle.
I'm on the fence. I'm on the fence. There's
Well, get off the fence.
y'all saw that. Y'all witnessed that. Y'all witnessed that. I deal with that every night. Don't hit me. It's all right. All right. We're not going
That's
to talk
funny.
about domestic stuff.
You see what my wife says to me. It's crazy.
Oh God.
I'm on the fence with this one because there's other implications here. This is a bloodline match.
Yeah.
All right. This is a bloodline match. We have a bloodline match coming up. If that match goes one way, it's bloodline rules. If not, then it's not. There's some implications here. Solo Sikoa has been by his side. It's been the only person that's been by his side. Quite frankly, who does Jay have at this exact moment in time that's not already involved in something else? That's something else that we see. When somebody else has a match, they don't really come out and help their friend. All right? Cody Rhodes is preparing for his own thing. Sami Zayn, I mean, he might be out on a stretcher. I don't even know. So my heart wants the yeet on this one. My heart does. My head is saying, with interference from Solo, which he hasn't been very effective, but whatever, Jimmy Uso. But ultimately, I'm going yeet on this.
You're going yeet?
I'm going to go yeet. I'm going against my head, and I'm going with my heart.
I think Sammy would still come out to help him because you're saying Sammy's involved in a match, but everybody's involved in other matches. Seth has a match one night, 2 night. You know what I mean? Cody has a match first night, second night. Sammy doesn't have a match both nights. I mean, he's already there having his match anyway. Yeah, he might be beat up, even if he limp out. I think if Solo gets involved, I do see Sammy trying to get involved.
I hope so.
But also Seth and Cody wouldn't have had their match yet. So, right? Because that's going to be the main event.
Yeah.
So they could still come to his aid because they still want him to come to their aid. So I don't
see,
think
that's what I'm
he's
saying.
alone.
I don't. No. I don't see nobody coming to no. I think Jay's gonna do this on his own, even with Solo's interference. I'm gonna go with my heart. Yeet all day.
I love this. I get to do it. I get to be that guy. It's been a while. Yes.
Uh-oh.
I'm not even gonna take your catchphrase, eh? You know what time it is.
Okay.
You know what time it is. One of my favorite matches in WrestleMania history was Owen Hart versus Bret Hart. To me, the greatest opener to any WrestleMania that I personally have ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
Guess what happened? The heel won. Little brother won. And everyone in their mind was like, Bret's gotta beat Owen. Owen, you little. You ain't gonna beat Bret. Guess what happened? Owen beat Bret and he beat him clean. As a whistle. That's the most shocking thing about it. No cheating.
Yeah, he did.
He out wrestled Bret, and that carried their feud all the way to SummerSlam. They did the big cage match. Everyone talks about it. One of the best cage matches, SummerSlam history. But to do it, the heel had to win.
Yeah.
Jay's already over. Jay's one of the most over baby faces in wrestling. Not just WWE, in wrestling. I was there live in Houston, and I saw the crowd doing the Razor Roof. I saw everybody doing it. I was blown away by how over he was.
Yeah.
I underestimated. I knew he was over, but I underestimated how over he is. Jimmy, literally, when you really think about it, everyone thinks he's going to lose. And I know Triple H. Triple H is that guy. When you think someone should win, he always throws you a curveball. The curveball for this night, because there's going to be another one tomorrow, the very next night on night 2.
Mm-hmm.
Jimmy Uso comes out the victor over Jey Uso, and check this out, with no help. No help. He beats Jey all by himself. That will carry the feud to the summer, where I see them doing a legit Hell in a Cell match and that's where Jay will beat Jimmy.
Oh, we're carrying this out. Okay.
But we got to get there. How do we get there? Jimmy has to win. If Jay just beats Jimmy here,
That's
but
the
I
end of
mean,
it.
that's the end of it. Sorry, no offense to y'all. I figured y'all was gonna pick Jay, which is why I let y'all go first, so I can hit y'all with Jimmy. I'm going
You
with
know,
Jimmy.
you
I
said
did
about
say
Triple H.
my head is with Jimmy on this. I did say that,
But your heart is with Jay, yeah.
but I'm going with my heart. But I hear what you're saying.
Right.
No, and everything you say makes perfect sense. But you said something about Triple H as a booker and like kind of swerving us. And the immediate image I had in my head was like he's sitting there putting the shows together and he's writing in a little pad and he's got an angel on his shoulder and a devil on his shoulder. And the angel is like Jim Cornette. It's like, hey, you got to have the baby face go over. What are you, stupid?
Yeah.
You know, blankety blank, 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 curse up a storm. And then the devil on his shoulder is Vince Russo. It's like, whoa, swerve, bro. Nobody will see it coming, bro.
Good impressions. Wow.
That would
Nice.
be yeah, actually.
Yeah.
That would
I'm
be an
impressed.
upset, a crowd upset for sure. For
Mhm.
sure, that would be a crowd upset.
Yeah,
Take
but
a
you
lot
know
of
what?
balls. Yeah.
We need some. Oh, jeez. I mean, because again, there are implications. I feel like we need the Jay momentum. He hasn't really wrestled. When's the last time he wrestled on a match in on Raw? Can we recall?
Wasn't it recently? I think he wrestled.
the Gunther
You mean
match?
after Gunther? He fought someone after Gunther.
He didn't wrestle this week. Did he wrestle last week?
He wrestled
Yeah.
Nakamura last week. Yeah.
Yeah,
He faced Nakamura last
yeah.
week,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
And
I
who
was gonna
won?
say after
And who won
Gunther.
that match?
Jay won that
Yeah.
match.
It was Jay, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Exactly. He needs his momentum because this match will have direct implications, momentum-wise, into this tag match with the Bloodline. Quite frankly, it would be great. It would be great to have Jimmy win. And like, okay, we caught that win. Bloodline won. Let's see what this Bloodline does. But then again, odds stacked against the Bloodline because Jimmy did not catch that win. And so now it's up to Roman and The Rock. Y'all got to do what you got to do. Get that win. Bloodline rules. Night 2, I don't know. My head and my heart, it's warring right now.
Well,
Warren.
hey, I'm gonna tell you what. Head and heart don't matter for this main event match.
Bring
And
it.
guess who's you guys are kicking it off. Let me bring it up here. The main event, ladies and gentlemen, of night 1. We got Roman Reigns, your undisputed WWE Universal Champion, who by this point would have held the belt for Jesus Christ, 1,309 days. On Sunday, it'll be 1,310 days. But he's tag teaming with the final boss, Dwayne The Rock Johnson, to take on Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes. If Seth and Cody win, night 2 will be a fair one-on-one match between Cody and Roman. But if Rock and Roman win, Cody and Roman will become Bloodline rules. Anything goes. A and B, who you got winning?
Talk to the people. We smiling like that.
Uh-oh.
We smiling like that.
Uh-oh.
It
She's thinking about
haven't
it.
really decided yet.
She's
because,
thinking about it.
I know who I have to come out victor on night 2. And I feel like that makes me question this decision because
Do you want to go first? And
I mean, are
think
you
about
gonna really have Seth lose and then go defend his championship? I mean, I think Seth and Cody may actually pull out. I really don't see them doing bloodline rules again when they just did that. They just did it, and we saw it. And I don't imagine that that's going to be the case again tomorrow night. But I mean, the next night. But I
Really?
don't know.
This
I
one
don't
got
know,
you
bro.
stumped,
Wait a
B.
minute.
I don't know. Because they seem so dominant. They've been whipping them so bad that it doesn't seem like they're gonna pull out that victory. because they don't seem like right now, unless Friday, these two are about to open up a big old can. Let me see it.
Oh,
Got the prop.
brought to you by Can of Whoop Ass.
Unless they're about to open up
What
a big
this
old
is.
can on Friday.
Wait.
Can you see it?
Oh my
Got a big
goodness.
old Can of Whoop Ass right here.
It literally says that.
Can you see it?
That's incredible.
So unless
Is
they
it on-
really
is it on
about
the
to
A and B
open a
store?
can,
Was-
Is it on the A and B store they can buy it? Merchandise?
No.
no, that was.
Oh, okay, all right.
He
sorry.
just
Keep
saw
going,
it.
B.
I
Keep
just saw
going,
it. I
B.
thought it was hilarious.
But honestly, how do you, unless Friday they're about to, like Seth and Cody are about to beat the hell out of Bloodline. The way it's going so far, I got them.
Who? Seth and Cody?
Seth and Cody. Because
Wow.
it just they look so weak. They getting whooped like kids.
I mean, okay, so first of all, SmackDown is going to be live, right? Not pre-recorded, like it's not already in the can.
It's live.
Okay.
It's like,
So I need Seth and Cody to nut up on this one. They got to get something. They got to get some licks, and they got to do something. They got to take off the belt. They got to get the whumping and the wailing
They
on
have
Rock
to.
and Roman. Something has to happen. I think the stakes, I think the odds, it has to be stacked against the good guys in this situation. Now, I've said this many times. DTA, don't trust anybody. Oh, hell yeah. Okay? I trust nobody. I don't trust Seth Rollins. I don't trust The Rock. My mind is in a pretzel about what's going to happen. But as far as this match goes, I still say that the Jimmy and Jay match will have some implications. Jimmy can take the loss and still be whatever, because he's been doing that, just being kind of the court jester fool and whatever. Really doesn't have any real big bearing on it. Solo Sikoa didn't come out a winner. So already the momentum has shifted just a little bit against the Bloodline, which is why they had to go all ham on them. So he said, kind of like what The Rock said when he went out here and said The Rock, when he did his promo on Instagram, The Rock is going to go out here, test the waters. The audience didn't know where I was going. Should I sit here? Should I sit there? I think that was very real. I think saying Bloodline rules, because there was no reason for him to say that on Monday night. Bloodline rules, let's test the waters and see what the people think about the possibility of what we could do on night two. And I think the audience was all in their feelings. So at that point, I'm like, yeah, it's Bloodline rules night two. So the odds got to be stacked against him. I think it's going to be a great match, but I think Seth Rollins is going to be softened up a little bit. And I think Cody Rhodes is going to be softened up a little bit so that when they come into night two, which we'll get into, I know right now, that is going to play tremendously in his match on night two for his title, for Seth's title. And quite frankly, if the game plan is for The Rock to turn on Roman Reigns, it would have to happen on night two. Bloodline rules just make sense. And I've said this on the show before. I think I talked to you a little bit about it, and there's some people that might have missed it. But somebody else had mentioned this too. Roman Reigns keeps talking about, I'm the tribal chief. I'm the tribal chief. That's great. Now you have The Rock over here talking about, and he's been like incrementing what he's been doing. Like if you see his open on Monday Night Raw, you had a silhouette of him, the final boss. Like he's been slowly but surely ratcheting everything up just a little bit every single time he comes out. Why? Because before that, he was saying, take a look at this family tree. His grandfather, my grandfather, the High Chief, Peter Maivia. So he consistently was saying the High Chief has tribal chiefs, but there's nobody above the High Chief. There's nobody above the final boss. So it would be great if it's Bloodline rules, because that makes sense in the Samoan world, if you will, where the High Chief needs to go ahead and correct the Little Chief and let you know who's really in charge. And if that is the plan, there is no bigger way than to make Cody Rhodes the biggest babyface, I think, in the history of pro wrestling. And then immediately, what Hulk Hogan said, the one thing people love to see is redemption. Everybody throwing bottles, throwing cans, cussing Hulk Hogan out when he was the third member of the Outsiders. The new world order of wrestling, brother. But then he went back to the red and gold, the red and yellow. That redemption And at that moment is what The Rock is going to do. Because The Rock right now, people don't know the cheer, the boo. They don't know what to do. They're all in their feelings. But imagine him rock bottoming Roman Reigns in the middle of that ring, not once, maybe twice, people's elbow, whatever the case may be. Crowd will go nuts. Rock immediately goes back to a face, and then he takes Cody's hand, raises his hand, hands him that belt. Dude.
Yeah, but then Cody.
Bloodline rules.
Then Cody didn't really win it. The Rock won it for Cody if it goes down like that. And you think they're going to have The Rock turn already?
I do. If that's the game plan.
Then we would never
If
have The
that's the
Rock
game
and Cody
plan.
other than the first night.
So I'm saying The Rock and Roman Reigns will win this tag team match. That's the reason why I'm saying it's going to happen.
Yeah, no, I could see that. I think that I actually, hearing your explanation, I think I may come over to your side, except for I don't see Rock turning this soon. We all know Rock is going to turn. We all know he's not acknowledging him. He's doing this on purpose. But this soon? I don't know.
Because what's going to
Maybe.
happen is we're not going to get a healthy Seth Rollins coming in tonight too. He's
Right.
got a bad back. He's got a
Right.
bad knee. He shouldn't be in this match to begin with. I never understood why the consistent interaction with Seth Rollins. What do you have to do? You have nothing to do with this. But yet somehow they've figured out how to interject him into this. He's going to get softened up. Everything that happens on night one is going to have huge implications for night two, for every single person that's involved in this tag match. So that is why I'm going Bloodline will win this match.
Patrick, I'll let you go last because I'm going to keep my prediction short and sweet. I'm going to take everything A just said, copy and paste. I am predicting the Bloodline, Rock and Roman, to win. And guess what? If you want Cody to get that moment on night two, if you want him to have the ultimate, memorable, all-time moment at the biggest WrestleMania of all time, you got to send him through hell, fire, and brimstone. Send him to the deepest depths by having him take on everybody in the Bloodline. And we'll talk about how I see that match going. But to me, it's a foregone conclusion. There's no way Seth and Cody win this match. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if they do have Seth turn on Cody. I don't think it's going to be like a straight up heel turn. I think it's just miscommunication because they were bringing up the fact that they still don't like each other.
Yeah.
So
Right.
I can see them clashing during the match. Seth does something and miscommunication leads to maybe Seth getting pinned. I don't see Cody getting pinned. Seth is the one
Yeah.
that gets pinned.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I was thinking. Is it was hard for me to see Cody getting pinned, but then you're pinning Seth the night before Seth is supposed to defend his title. How that just totally weakens him too. So I guess I just was trying to imagine that you're going to have them lose right before both of them are supposed to be going for their titles, and so you're going to have Seth lose 2 days in a row. I guess it's just hard for me to imagine that,
Right.
but I guess.
But I can't wait to get at the prediction. But we'll get there.
I just kind of
That's
feel
the
like
prediction.
you got to have all the heat around Cody for him to get that moment. We all
No,
know
I
he's
get
getting the
that
moment.
for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. And I just feel like we also have to set up Cody's future opponents as well. I know you talked about Gunther earlier. Who is the best possible opponent outside of Randy Orton? Who's the best possible opponent for Cody to fight in the interim? None other than Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins is that guy. And so how
Yeah.
you set that up? This is the best way to do it. Patrick?
Which is why
I-
Roman said you can't trust him, but then he said you can't trust Rock. And so everyone said that was boring. And although it was boring, those two lines were very important.
Remember this. He did this. He did this. That was deliberate.
That was deliberate.
And he did this the very first time, and he left it like this. Every
Yeah.
single thing The Rock has done since coming back has been planned and strategic. He's a sleeper agent. That's all I got to say about that.
What do you think, Patrick?
Well, as far as a prediction goes, I think it's very simple. If Cody and Seth win, Roman's retaining in night 2. If Rock and Roman win, then Cody wins the belt in night 2. Those are really the only two options they can go with that make sense, because if the faces win, then that's like, oh, Cody's got the momentum, and it kind of lulls us into a false sense of security, and then something screwy happens in night 2 that screws Cody once again. Whatever that would be, I don't know. But
Yeah.
but if you put him at a disadvantage at night 2, it's the behind the 8 ball, baby faces in trouble. And then he comes through, fights through hell to come back and ultimately win. So I think that's the better setup. I think Rock and Roman have to win this for us to get Cody's ultimate victory the next night at night 2 for it to make any sense. This is the most exciting match at WrestleMania. I am going to be watching this one like a hawk, seeing
absolutely.
What's Rock going to do? What's Seth's going to do? Who's going to interfere? What's going to happen? A lot of different possibilities here, but no matter what happens, I think Rock and Roman have to win this match for night 2 to have any kind of a satisfying payoff, but we shall see.
Now, A and B, I need your help on this. What is this, ladies and gentlemen? What in the world?
Can I read this one?
Just to tell you, when he goes big, he changed to La Fiend 3 Diglett.
So he
my
he goes
goodness.
Dark. May I?
Please take
Go
it.
ahead.
I apologize. Super chats are read by the host, but I go dark on this one. Can we turn on these lights?
We cannot turn on the lights.
This tag match. Oh man. I don't care who wins this one. I do got The Rock and Roman taking it with some solo interference, but I'm most excited about the one-on-one matchups during this match. Rollins versus Roman. Rollins versus Rock. Cody versus Rock. Absolutely incredible, if you ask me. So says La Fiend 3 Diglets. Thank you very much.
Finger snaps everybody. Oh my God.
When La Fiend comes in, we always go a little dark.
Yeah, La Fiend, thank you for that $100 donation, sir. God damn. Hey.
I told you. He's coming. He's coming for it.
He wants that Super Chat title. I don't know what else to say other than thank you so much. That's crazy. Hey, you guys ready to go to night 2?
Let's bring it. Please bring it.
Also, you guys swayed me. I agree with you now that I see it. I couldn't really see it because I couldn't see how they were gonna, but you swayed me. Well, I was on the fence in the beginning. I was like, I didn't know what to do with it, but I understand what y'all saying. I agree.
All right.
Yo, B, I want you to keep that energy for this next match because what's gonna open night 2, what I'm hearing, involves a group that you was just ranting about. The Pride. Bobby who? Bobby Lashley, and of course the Street Profits taking on Final Testament. That's Karrion Kross, AOP. A&B Convos starting with B. Who you got winning?
If y'all do not give the Pride this win, I'm a riot all up in this studio. Be moving furniture up in here. These men were so. First of all, not only is Bobby Lashley one of the most dominant men that we have ever seen be a title holder, but Montez Ford, I feel like we have slept on him because he is in a tag. And the few times they have let him come out to shine, oh my gosh, he is not only a high flyer and extremely skilled and technically sound. He is a heavy hitter. He is strong. He will put his body out there. He could go dark. He could go funny. He could do it all. And so you finally get this really, really strong faction. And Karrion Kross and AOP are a strong faction, but I am not as connected because as excited as I was to see Kross and Scarlett back over here, they just dropped the ball. And now I can't really get that connection back. And even though AOP is big and strong, I don't care about them like I care about the Street Profits and Bobby Lashley. So I'm all about the Pride, baby.
Yeah, the Pride need this win. They need this win. I'll be perfectly honest with you. I think the best thing that they could have done right now with Karrion Kross and Scarlett is team them up with AOP. But I'm not buying it. I don't buy it. I see their interactions week after week after week, and basically the Pride comes up with the short end of the stick. I want to see Scarlett get involved. I want to see BVAP get involved. I want to see some hair pulled. I want to see some windmilling. I want to see some jabs, some kicks. I want to see these people get down. But yes, I do agree right now. The Pride are looking weak, and they shouldn't. You built these people up in the Hurt Business, you dropped it. You for some inexplicable reason can't seem to figure out what to do with Omos, MVP. It was a whole thing that was magnifique, and you destroyed it. And now you've got him over here saying, okay, this is how it's going to be. We're going to dominate. We're going to take over all the gold, blah, 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 yada, yada. And it ain't happening. They are generally getting their butts handed to them week after week after week. And it is frustrating. So to me, right now, I'm not as invested in this match as I would like to be. I hesitate to say this is almost a bathroom break match, but I got my money on the Pride. They need this win.
They need it.
If they want to continue to look strong and dominant and catch that momentum going forward, they need it. So that's where I'm going.
What do you think, Patrick?
Well, first of all, if this is some kind of a vehicle to ultimately create WWE's version of a 6-man tag titles or trios titles, I'm going to vomit. Please don't do that. But I'm looking at this match, and conventional wisdom would be, look, the Final Testament or whatever they're calling themselves, they're new. It's a new heel group. You want them to look strong, so you would give them the win here. However, this group sucks. Like, garbage. And it's a shame because I love Paul Ellering. I've loved him since I was a kid. Yeah. Karrion Kross is a guy, great look, great promo. We talked about this with Austin Theory. He just hasn't put it together yet. And I don't know what it is. And maybe it's the creative. Maybe there's something lacking with him. I don't know, but he just hasn't put it together. He's got Scarlett by his side, who is, I think about her a lot. We'll put it that way. She looks great with him. It should work, but for whatever reason, it's just, I looked at this thing when they set it up and I was like, okay, when the Judgment Day first started, I made the comment, it's a dollar store version of the Ministry of Darkness. And they eventually evolved into their own thing. But I look at this group and it's like, they're a dollar store version of the dollar store version of the Ministry of Darkness. Like, what in the world is this? It's pathetic. So, I'm looking at this as like, you've got, great talent on the other side with Bobby and the Street Profits. I say give them to win here and make them look strong, because this Final Testament thing is just, there is no long-term potential here. And it's not a reflection on the talent. It's a reflection on the idea. The idea just doesn't work.
Yeah.
I'm just going to coincide with this super chat from Three Diglets because he said it best, and I think I can just echo it. Anything with Karrion Kross in it, I'm always going to remember that Adam Cole promo. Sadly, at this point, Kross got to go to AEW and get his lick back, to be honest. It's just sad when you look at someone like Karrion Kross and you see a potential main event player. And
he was great in NXT.
But here's the thing about that. He was great in NXT.
Carry it over.
Right. And that's what I was about to say. It didn't carry over, but also think about what they did with him. He was essentially their Goldberg. He beat everybody and ran through them. Unfortunately, that is the only way he works. If you're not going to book him like a Goldberg and he's just a regular guy on the roster, it just doesn't work with him. And when you have a talent that only works one way, I'm sorry, it's just not a good talent. WWE will not book him that way. They're just not going to.
They decided to put Scarlett in the ring, even though she said she didn't want to be in the ring. She wasn't ready for the ring. She just isn't a wrestler. Even if she was trying to be, it just didn't work. And you put her in the ring anyway, we can't unsee that. Nope.
It stuck with you. And you can't unsee what WWE did to Karrion Kross. Even when Vince McMahon was there, they have made this guy. It's almost damaged goods to the point where, I kind of think he probably has to go somewhere else and have that Goldberg booking and come back later, or find a different way to book him. He's just not working. And quite frankly, a win here would do nobody any good for the Final Testament. So you might as well just have Bobby's group beat him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's as simple as that. I'm sorry, Karrion Kross fans. I like the guy. I think he's one of the coolest people. But his character sucks. And you're not going to get it back. And that's one of those things where I know Triple H really, really, really wants it to work with him. There just comes a time where it's just like, wash your hands of him. be done with and move on to something else.
Well, you can't fire the man. You can't fire the crew, then have him come back, immediately show up in a I don't know what it was, a championship match or whatever it was.
Yeah, he injected himself between Drew and Roman.
That's
He had
right.
The hourglass, and we're like, oh snap! It's
Threatened
about to
Roman.
be on and cracking, and it was not on and cracking.
No, they was like, ooh, and then they didn't deliver at all.
So yeah, it's not happening. Bobby and the Street Profits, if they don't come away with this win, new merch in the shop, we will riot. We will riot. 'Cause that's some bullcrap.
Yeah. Well, I think we can go ahead and move on from this one. Patrick, do you mind taking this next one? It's not a very important match. It's just kind of a match. You know, it's only the World Heavyweight Championship match between Seth Rollins and Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre has said multiple times he needs this win. He has been robbed of his WrestleMania moment at WrestleMania 36. This will reconcile all of that. So, Patrick, does Drew McIntyre give Seth Rollins his broken dream?
Yeah, I mean, man, that tag match is so much more exciting than both world title matches. It's kind of amazing. It's wild, but I look at this, I've already said it a couple of times here. I don't like having two world champions. I understand the brand split and everything, but it's just not something I'm in love with. So I've never gotten super invested in this new world heavyweight title. I know Seth is working hard to make it work, but it's just hasn't worked with me. So I'm not overly intrigued by it, but I say Drew's got to take it. He's the most interesting of the two people. Like he's killing it right now. And his social media game is unparalleled. And I say Drew takes it, and then you get Drew versus Punk whenever Punk comes back and they do that match. So I think that's the obvious direction to go in. Now, my one question is, what kind of role is CM Punk going to play in this match? Because obviously he's going to do something here, whether it's commentary or, enforcer or referee or something. I don't know, but it'll be interesting to see what Punk does. But yeah, I say give it to Drew.
By the way, CM Punk will be involved on commentaries for this match. So thank you for reminding me.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Okay. There you go.
If you don't mind, A&B, I got to take this one.
Go.
Patrick, I agree with you. I just feel like the type of storytelling that Drew has been telling with his character is miles above literally anything else, including Seth Rollins. You do not have him do everything that he's done and not reward him with a world title victory. He has to win here. Not just because of the potential feud with him and CM Punk, or the potential feud with him and Sami Zayn, or potential feuds with literally anyone else that Seth Rollins, let's just be real, isn't going to get that much more interesting with. You do it because his character, not just about winning at WrestleMania, but when you have a guy this hot and he creates so much interest, not just on TV, but outside of it, come on now. That's the kind of stuff that makes championships. The title doesn't make the man makes the title. I appreciate Seth Rollins for having great matches with it, but that's all it has been with Seth Rollins. It's just good to great matches. Drew is going to make it mean a lot more. Besides having good matches with it, he's going to add some character and some weight time behind it. And a potential match with him and CM Punk for that world title. Oh my goodness. Talk about main eventing a show. Yeah. That could main, if Punk is healthy, that can main event SummerSlam. They're having Clash at the Castle, and I think that's in June. I don't think Punk would be ready by then, but that's the main event for that show.
Yeah.
You do not reward Drew McIntyre with a loss here. If Seth Rollins is losing on night one, he's already going to be weak. This is the perfect opportunity to give that belt to Drew. And I know people are going to be saying, well, isn't Drew about to leave WWE soon because of his contract situation? I'm going to just put that to rest right now. He is going to resign. He is going to re-sign with WWE, and he's going to get a ton of money. I guarantee you will definitely see him post-WrestleMania. He is not going anywhere. Same thing with Seth Rollins, by the way. Both of them are not going anywhere. Becky, I don't know. But Drew and Seth, they're not going anywhere. And I do think Drew is walking out your new world championship. As for CM Punk, I can see CM Punk trying to screw over Drew and then accidentally helping him win the title. That's the only thing I see him doing. And then creating more fire between him and Seth going forward. But other than that, A and B, I'm going with Drew. Who are you going with?
Oh, I completely agree. What else would you do with Drew? Drew went home. He took his ball and went home, and they brought him back. I don't believe they brought him back without a title run in that conversation. And he does deserve, like you said, he deserves that moment, not in front of screens, in front of fans. And that's why because I thought Seth was going to lose, I thought it'd be kind of crazy for them to have Seth lose 2 nights in a row. And I also didn't see Seth on heel on Cody, because then he would be heel versus heel.
Right.
And I guess I just didn't really see that happening. I don't necessarily see CM Punk getting involved one way or another. He doesn't like either one of them just as much.
Right.
But it makes sense for Drew and CM Punk to be even though Seth and CM Punk really, really hate each other. I don't know if Drew's hatred is as deep as Seth is. The disrespect Seth had for that last interaction was crazy. Just walking by him, keeping his back turned, walking right in the ring because hating someone is almost more like, I don't even care about you, ain't nothing. I don't think about you one way or another. You could live or die. I could care less. And that was his attitude more than Drew's, to me. But Drew already got the merch. You know what I mean? He ready to go on long term with CM Punk. So I totally agree.
Totally agree. And I'm going to tell you right now, baby, that we had COVID-19 put hard times on Drew McIntyre's WWE heavyweight run, baby. But now is his time, daddy. Now is his time. It is Drew McIntyre all day. I'm telling you right now, the bloodline is going to tenderize a little Seth Rollins meat. You understand
right in his back.
He's going to be having some kinesio tape on his back. His knees probably going to be in a brace. Probably do a little bit of limping. Automatically, Drew McIntyre is going to sense that blood in the water. You can for sure count on some way, somehow, CM Punk getting involved. And I think the bigger heat here would be that involvement, like you said, where some way, somehow, CM Punk's good intentions turns out bad for good old Seth Rollins. Drew McIntyre capitalizes by hook or by crook. 1, 2, 3, and it is a wrap, folks. Your new heavyweight champion in front of a live crowd. He finally gets his moment. He walks in the Clash at the Castle champion. And then whenever CM Punk is healthy, whenever Seth Rollins is healthy, both of these gentlemen, let's get it on.
Oh, imagine them in a 3-way, man. Triple threat.
Oh.
True story.
But I'm not mad at that. Triple threat. Why not? Because everybody, like you said, they all got heat with one another. They all got heat. Drew feels how he feels. But let's just not forget, the second CM Punk's music hit, who was flipping him the bird? Who was flipping out? It was Seth frickin' Rollins. Okay? Whether he's made his peace with it or not, doesn't matter. And you still have CM Punk to this day taking jabs at that. So I think the greater heat is between these two guys, but you get all 3 of them in the ring, explosive. Drew McIntyre, your new world heavyweight champion.
I love it.
All right.
I love it. We all agree. We all agree.
That title.
Before we get to the next one, I actually have a request for all 3 of you. Have you seen the CM Punk interview with Iyo Sky yet?
I've seen it.
I saw you slid it in there. I did not have a chance to watch it yet. No.
When you get a chance on your own channels, I would love for you guys to do a video or some type of a live stream talking about it, because he went in on AEW and Tony Khan. That would be
okay.
I would like your thoughts on it. Just my request, if you will. I would really appreciate it.
Coming at you.
I love
Coming
it.
at you.
Will do.
Coming at you.
If you guys don't
something
mind
to say about it.
I got to take this next one. It's probably one of my personal favorite matches of the entire weekend, and it involves my favorite female wrestler in WWE. It's her time, ladies and gentlemen. Iyo Sky will be defending her belt against the last 4 horsewomen to get her moment at WrestleMania. A woman that has been eluded of this moment longer than any one of them, Bayley. Bayley has been busting her ass for what feels like over a decade. Since she left NXT, she has yet to get back to this moment. She lost it the moment she got to the main roster. And I felt it in 2017. I'm like, I don't know, this Hugger Bayley stuff is not going to work on the main roster. It's only for NXT. And it didn't even take long for fans to turn on her because then they buried her with that Alexa Bliss feud. I hate it. I've been hated it. Still can't go back and watch it. And she hasn't been the same since. She's won all kinds of championships, but she never got back to the level she's at now, where fans are just refusing to boo her. And they've been refusing to boo her since she came back at SummerSlam 2022. They was just like, nope, we love Bayley, and that's it. Nothing else you do. And I'm like, come on. You got to give her the championship during that feud with Bianca Belair. You got to give her the championship. They didn't. Pissed me off. And it felt like, I guess this is just not going to happen. This is it. This is the moment. The story is perfect. She helped Iyo Sky get that championship. They turned on her. And now it's like, well, Bayley doesn't have any help. What's she going to do? Can she do it by herself? The perfect babyface story. I think this is the moment. I think Bayley finally gets her big WrestleMania moment. Beats Iyo Sky, big celebration, and the crowd receives her once again. I am actually looking forward to not just that, but also her entrance, which is going to be performed by Paramore. I don't know what song it is. I'm hearing it's a new song. It's a completely new original song, and that will be Bayley's song going forward.
Wow.
That's going to be nice.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's championship stuff right there.
I just hope and pray that regardless, because I know Triple H. We talked about this earlier, like somebody has to retain. Now, I got Gunther retaining. Iyo Sky could be also someone who retains, which scares me more than Rhea. Honestly, I see Iyo Sky retaining more than Rhea Ripley, but I hope that they don't. I want Bayley to win, and I'm sticking with that. A and B. Oh God, I'm almost scared to ask y'all because I have a feeling one of y'all's going to disagree. Who you got with?
Look, man, if y'all know me and how I feel about champions, one of the things I say is, somebody is championship material when they come out in a jacket. Who's wearing a jacket?
Oh God, yeah.
There's something about a long, fancy jacket that says I'm like royalty. You know what I mean? Like I'm like an Elvis. I'm a champion. You gotta have the whole thing. Iyo hasn't had it for me. It's been very dull. And I know that she stepped it up and I know whatever, but no, I totally agree. This is Bayley and we expected her to get a championship by now. And I could see why they didn't do it because now is the time.
Yeah.
Now is the time. And I think that this is it. I agree, Alyx.
Yeah, you know what? I gotta disagree with
There
you.
it is.
Boys.
God damn it.
I agree with you. I don't like this match at all.
Oh.
I don't like this match at all. Not at all. I am not right now feeling this. I'm not on the Bayley train. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying none of this. I like their interaction that we saw when she attacked her backstage. Fantastic, great. I think again there's going to be some implications that we have with the women's six women tag match with Bianca's team and Damage Control. I think it would be wild because that match is not a tag team title match. I think it would be crazy that Iyo is no longer the champion and yet Kabuki Warriors are the champs. That would mean to me that the Kabuki Warriors, it's only a matter of time before they lose their titles. And I don't necessarily see that happening. I think we're finally getting Damage Control stepping up. I think we're finally seeing shades of Iyo Shirai. Far too late, but I think we're seeing it. And quite frankly, I think Io's going to retain. I think Io's going to retain. I know everybody feels I know you feel it's Bayley's time, and you're probably right, and I'm probably wrong on this. But I'm not seeing it. I do not want Bayley to get this title. I think right now we're taking Damage Control to a new level. I like the promos that we got Damage Control cutting.
That doesn't mean you have to have
I think Iyo retains her title. I think both ladies I think both ladies are going to retain their titles at WrestleMania.
That would be the
Damn.
swerve because Bayley is so over. I think everybody expects Bayley to win. I think that Bayley losing actually would be the swerve here.
And I think they'll run it back at SummerSlam.
Okay, Patrick.
Because
What you
if
think,
I'm not
Patrick? Hold
mistaken, was it not SummerSlam that she came out with Damage Control?
Yes,
It
it
was.
was SummerSlam.
Right? I think
Mhm.
that's where it comes full head. I think that's where it comes full head. I think something's going to happen because it's not over. WrestleMania, The Rock has got big plans for WrestleMania. He wants to make a really big show. But like you said many times on your show, The Rock ain't going nowhere. He's on the board, period. He's got his hands in this. His grandmother is now being inducted. That wouldn't have happened if The Rock wasn't a part of this. Facts. So he himself said, signing off, long gamer. He is thinking down the road. He's not just thinking, what is this moment going to do? What is this moment going to affect the next moment? And I think that this will come full head for them, where Bayley will then get that title at SummerSlam, where it all started.
Wow. What do you think, Patrick?
Gee, I I'm looking at this. Had Dakota Kai not already turned on Bayley, I would be more inclined to say, oh, Iyo Sky wins because Dakota Kai turns on Bayley. But since they already did that, I kind of feel like we've gotten the full Frankenstein monster turning on the creator thing where Damage Control has completely rejected Bayley. But now the other part of the Frankenstein story is now the creator of the monster has to be the one to step up and beat it. So I feel like Bayley takes it here. I feel like this is going to be her night to shine. I could see them doing the SummerSlam thing, like you said, but I just feel like, I just feel like Bayley takes it.
Do we
Oh,
have
man.
shenanigans? Do we have shenanigans as a part of this?
Who do you
I
think,
don't
Patrick?
know.
Sorry, what'd you say?
Will we have shenanigans? Will we have Damage Control shenanigans? Because
Oh, definitely.
we had
Oh, yeah.
Bianca
This
Belair's
is
team,
going to
all those
be.
people messing with Damage Control. If we get Damage Control shenanigans, will those ladies also come out and lend the assist?
Why not?
I wonder.
Why not? That's how they got here in the first place.
I want shenanigans, but I'm wondering if we will see shenanigans as a part of this. Or are we talking just a nice, clean match?
Something to think
A
about.
lot of potential. I think there's a lot of, because there's a stable involved, I think it's almost like shenanigans. It's like the NWO. It's like shenanigans go hand in hand with stables. So I wouldn't be surprised to see a little mini lumberjack match break out in the middle of this thing.
Love it.
Guys, you'll have to excuse me. So you notice I've been coughing throughout the entire stream. It's
Are you
because
getting
of this.
sick?
Oh, yeah. You want to know why I'm getting sick? Because of this next match right here involving a certain U.S. champion.
Logan Paul, put up your ones, son.
Put up your
For the
ones,
Maverick.
son.
It makes me sick to my stomach. I'm going to make it short and sweet. And then, sure, Patrick, you go after me. I hate to say it, and I hate the fact that it's Kevin Owens and Randy Orton who have to be the victims of it. Logan Paul is doing a great job with that U.S. belt. He's doing a great job with that U.S. belt. He has a ton of heat. And like I was saying with Sami Zayn and Gunther, KO and Randy Orton are not the ones to take that belt off of Logan Paul. His match is coming up next. So this is just fodder for Logan Paul, just to say he was at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
He's walking out the U.S. champ. That's all I'm going to say. Patrick, take it from here.
My stance on Logan Paul is I hate him. I can't stand him. I think he's obnoxious. He's really good at this. He's a really great heel. And he's, it's like, oh, they're letting outsiders. And it's like, dude, I watch his matches. He's better than 95% of the other guys doing this. His selling is almost second to none. And I think it's very clear here. Owens and Randy Orton have some sort of a miscommunication. They go off and feud with each other. Logan retains here and ultimately comes up against somebody who's coming up later in this card. But Logan's been great, and I hate him, but he's been great. So I say keep rolling with him as U.S. champion.
A&B, what you think?
It's funny because I don't care about the outsider thing as much. I just didn't like him because I didn't like him because of what he was famous for. I
Yeah.
thought that was just, tasteless. But Bianca Belair didn't watch wrestling, and she was recruited by the world's strongest man. Same with Braun Strowman, and we went through this with the Miz, and I feel like Miz paved a way to for people to come on, man, like he had to fight hard to be respected, and I feel like he kicked that door down. So I don't really care how he came here. I didn't like why he was famous to get here, but the reality is that, like y'all said, he has put in the work, and he surprised us like Bad Bunny surprised us. Did anybody expect Bad Bunny to come out doing the stuff he was doing? No. And Logan Paul, I mean, he almost broke his neck the first time he went out there and realized, oh, I think I almost died. They were like, yeah, you could have died. And then he was like, okay, but he still, is studying and trying to be good at this. And if you look at the card, who's wearing the jacket?
Oh
I
Lord.
mean, if y'all want to
It's
win,
all
get a
about the jacket.
jacket. Just saying.
Yeah, I gotta agree.
No, Roman
man.
doesn't wear a jacket though. He doesn't need to.
Well.
I gotta agree. Logan Paul aside, we've seen it before. There are a lot of people in this industry that were just not good people on the outside of the ring, and they wouldn't have had. I think the Undertaker said, "If you were burning, I wouldn't piss on you."
Ooh.
But there's nobody else I would rather do it in the ring with, and that's Logan Paul. I hate to say it, but he's one of those people. Outside of the ring, he is who he is. Inside of that ring, almost second to none. He's excellent. He's excellent. And being so young and having been doing this for such a short period of time, he's a student of the game. He's picked up on it. Some people just have that natural ability to do it. I like everybody in this match as far as in-ring ability goes. I do not see anybody walking out of here except Logan Paul as your champion. At all.
Simple as that.
It's not
We
for
are.
Randy, because Randy, everyone was like, "Ooh, I think he's going to take it against Roman," but he doesn't even get a second look against Logan Paul. Like, what happened there?
Well, yeah, but Orton is on a whole different thing right now.
Right.
He's kind of got this comedy shtick that he's doing. He looks like he's
He's just having a
he's
good
in he's
time.
having a good time.
He's just being himself,
I feel like
honestly.
he's got another run
Yeah.
in him, but he doesn't even feel like this doesn't feel like the Orton necessarily of old. This feels like, wow, who is this guy? Like when Brock started coming out in this cowboy thing and having fun, every week I'm like, I'm scared. I don't trust it. I don't know what's going on. Who the heck is Cowboy Brock? But he looked like he was just for a little bit putting his hair down, just having fun, and it was fun. I think Orton's just having fun right now. So
Well, don't worry.
yeah,
When
I
he
don't see
fights
it.
Cody, that's all going to change. So
Oh.
just give it a few months. I promise you'll get what you want.
Yeah.
Yo,
But for
Patrick.
right now, I think it'll be
Yeah.
a fine match. We got some real good
Oh,
competitors.
it will be a nice match.
But
Yeah.
it's Logan Paul all day.
Patrick, take this next one. What is going to be perhaps the sleeper hit of night 2, a match that, believe it or not, I'm actually pretty excited about because of the hype, home invasions aside, and of course, Wendy, we got AJ Styles, who I heard, this is actually confirmed, will be getting a new theme song at WrestleMania. I'm excited about that.
Heel theme, huh?
A heel theme.
And he's got one of the best themes. He better come with it if he's replacing it.
Let's hope it's, man, Def Rebel. I don't know. Hopefully it's just as good, but it's going to be AJ Styles against, everybody say his name with me, L.A. Knight. Yeah. I love it. Patrick, who you got winning this one?
Well, this is the match I've affectionately labeled as the TNA Hall of Fame match. These are two guys that made names for themselves in TNA. I've been an AJ Styles fan since the mid-2000s, and LA Knight, I'm so happy to see how over he got and how successful he got, because he was a guy during TNA's dark years in like the mid-2010s. I was like, look, the show sucks and everything, but that Eli Drake guy is really, really good. And I think we're kind of sleeping on him. And it took a few years, but he's gotten there, and he's one of the most over acts in the company. So this is a big match for him. I thought it was a mistake to leave him off the card last year because the show was in LA, and it was just a natural thing to do to have him on there. And that was a huge oversight. I still don't understand, but he's on the card now. And I think he could do great. And I say give him the big win on the big stage. I think this is LA Knight's night.
A and B, who you got winning this match?
Harden head again. You wanna talk to the people?
I mean, I agree because here's the reality of it. The reality, first of all, and we all know LA Knight is over because he's over, not because they wanted him to get over. He just got over,
There you
right?
go.
And AJ Styles, let's be honest, he's been over. He's been around for a while. He's had his runs, but LA Knight's on his way up and AJ's on his way down. I mean, they're
Damn.
meeting in the middle, which is great, and he's not a has-been, so it's gonna be good. But LA Knight his trajectory is up, and I don't think they're gonna stop that for AJ Styles. I don't. You really took that like way offense to that.
Well, he is my namesake.
You do have his jacket.
Yeah, I do. I do have his jacket. You know what? This is an even match. I'm liking what I'm seeing with these guys. I'm liking the interaction. No one's got the upper hand so far. It's 1 week him, 1 week him. I'm digging it. I think this is going to be a great match. Truth be told, for my money, I think in-ring ability, AJ Styles has it over LA Knight. But you're absolutely right.
1000%.
LA Knight has gotten over all on his own in a way that no one really predicted, no one could have seen. And thank goodness he got rid of that Max Dupree nonsense. We wouldn't even be having this conversation. But that's the thing I will say when you start changing somebody's character, and that kind of bums me out. When you take somebody like AJ Styles, he's away for a while, he comes back, and now he's on this whole like Ronin, if you know what I'm talking about with Marvel. He's on this Ronin kick where he's trying to take out everybody. He's got no friends, no family, no nothing. To have him lose after doing all that, I hate to see it. I hate to see it, but I also hate to see LA Knight lose. I think the winner of this match will go on to face a certain somebody, perhaps a certain ring general, and I think that should be LA Knight. So if that is the game plan, my heart wants AJ Styles to win this match, but my head is going with the megastar LA Knight. Yeah.
And with
There you
that,
go.
I got to take what and of course Patrick has said and just basically agree with both of you. To me, if you're setting up LA Knight to beat Logan Paul, this is a must win for him, number one. But also, and this is interesting because you guys talk about AJ Styles being on the way down, which I do agree with you that on B. I just feel like what I love about Triple H and what he's allowing the talent to do, they're a lot more free to really test out what they want to do inside the ring. TV characters is a bit different because you have to, have a certain story you play into. But in terms of what they do inside the ring, if you saw Ricochet on Monday Night Raw, Homeboy was wrestling like Prince Puma from Lucha Underground. It was amazing. And I feel like
great.
You're going to be seeing a lot more of that throughout the roster where wrestlers get to be a little bit more free and do a few more things that they haven't been able to do under a Vince McMahon.
Oh, yeah.
People need to understand something about AJ Styles. Yes, he has been working the WWE style probably since he got there. He is still one of the greatest athletes in the world. He was AEW before there was an AEW. A lot of that AEW style you see right now with a lot of the high flying and all that kind of stuff, he was doing that back in TNA in 2004 before it was cool. I think now that they're going to let him be a little bit more free, because let's be real, AJ Styles hasn't really gotten a chance to work under a Triple H. Now he is. I cannot wait to see how that develops, and I think we're going to get a little bit of that old school AJ, and I'm excited about that. He still loses to LA Knight. This is LA Knight's victory. It's well past due for him to have his moment, him have his run. He's going to win that US belt from Logan Paul, please, for the love of God. And then he's going to go on to be one of the best stars in all of WWE because he made it that way. When the company, and I'll say this one thing and we'll move on. Remember, last year, we talked about him not being on at WrestleMania. That was done on purpose. The company did not think he was ready. They think, he's getting all this attention. It'll all blow off. It'll die out. Guess what happened? It grew and it grew And it grew. And it grew to the point where they said, fine, we'll give him a championship match against Roman Reigns. He got that hot. They said, well, shit, we might as well give him a championship match. Too much too soon.
Yeah.
But imagine how hot you have to be to get a world title match against not Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns. He went straight to the top guy.
Mm-hmm.
So when you have a guy that hot and he's still hot, he didn't stop being hot. Maybe he might have died down just a little bit, but he's still one of the top baby faces. Oh no, you gotta have him win, and you gotta carry that momentum into a title victory. So I agree with you. I think LA Knight is definitely gonna win this match. Before we get to the main event, first off, anything else y'all want to say about that?
I mean, for me, simply this: AJ came back jacked. He came back
Yeah,
jacked.
he did.
Okay, my man spent some time in that ring, was drinking a little bit of juice. I said he juiced, drinking orange juice. I didn't say nothing about any kind of juice. But he's looking jacked. He changed his entire character. I'm liking what they're doing with it. I'm just thinking long term. He loses. What's next for AJ Styles? I'm fine with the brooding thing. You got the Good Brothers on NXT. I don't know what Michin is doing. I'm just wondering what's next for this dude.
Well, see, but that's where they messed up, if you ask me, because they can't figure out what to do with Michin. And Michin had this a couple times now where they act like she was going to rethink everything. Everything was going to change. I can't do this no more. I'm sick of blah, blah, blah. As he's turning heel, why not have her go heel with him and be a dominant heel female heavy for him? Because she is a big girl. She could play off that gangster and she could totally be his heavy. I think that every heel should have a strong person beside him, and she could have been a dominant ballet for him, a ballet / heavy. And I think that that would have worked with both of them, and then you wouldn't just be not knowing what to do with her again.
Because I'm just wondering, once this happens, once this match is over, is that it? No more AJ Styles LA Knight interaction? We can move on to Logan Paul, move on to somebody. Like I'm just kind of curious what the long-term goal here is. Because I like the rivalry.
Yeah, they might run this back.
So that's why I'm split with it. But that's all I got to say.
So before we get to the main event, I want to thank all 400 people watching this live across 3 platforms: Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. We're at the high peak of the stream, so this is a great time to plug the great people here on the stream. Please go subscribe to A&B Convos Wrestling Edition. They do one of the best reactions here on YouTube. But most importantly, this is why I brought him here. Check out Patrick's Crazy Place, one of the most underrated talent here in the YouTube space. If we want a community, a healthy ecosystem here on YouTube, support the people who create good content, great content. Patrick creates that. Please go subscribe to him right now. The links are down below in the description. Right now. Also, I gotta pat myself on the back, because as of 11:30 p.m. Central Time, Just Alyx and Alyx's World has officially hit 40,000 subscribers.
Woo!
Thank you all so much. I think your people, A&B Combos. I just saw Sophie Dopey subscribed, and other people, they helped push it over the limit. So
That's
you
awesome.
deserve it.
Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. 40,000 subscribers. Jody Bennett. Woo!
Woo!
Good to have you here. Wise Man Jedi Knight, good to have you here. Of course, Sophie
we
Dopey.
acknowledge you, bro.
And of course, your The Fiend and your Super Chat champion, 3 Diglets. Hey, thank you all so much. I appreciate it. Guess what? We ain't stopping. Now I want 50K and then 100K.
That's right.
And then after you get me to 100K, you get A and B to 50K and 100K. And then we don't stop there. You get Patrick to 10K and then 50K and then 100K. And then guess what? When they have kids, you give it to them when they start doing YouTube videos.
I have a daughter. We can pass it down to her right now.
I'm just saying. That's what we got to do. Thank you all so much.
I got kids, baby.
It is what it is. You guys ready to talk about the main event?
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Come on, Cletus. Come on.
I am going to lead it off.
Ready. Oh, it's hot in here. Ooh.
I know it's getting hot in here. Now, I'm going to lead it off. Patrick, you're going to go second, and then we're going to close it off heavy with A and B for the main event, which is...
It's time for the main event.
For the WWE Undisputed Universal Champion for the second time at a WrestleMania. Your tribal chief will defend his belt against Cody Rhodes. Based off of my prediction, bloodline rules. So I'm going off of that. This match has to be exactly what I think it's going to be. Now, we've all seen Avengers Endgame, right? Yes, everybody's seen it. You would have to be on your rock to not have seen it. Highest grossing film in the world. We know what happens. Thanos has Captain America down, and then he gets the call. Yo, Cap, on your right or on your left, whichever way it was. The portals open up. Everybody comes out. Ladies and gentlemen, what's going to happen in this match? Cody's going to get his ass whooped by the final boss, by Roman Reigns, by Jimmy Uso, by Solo Sikoa. You're going to have that moment where Solo hits him with the spike. Everyone's like, oh no, he lost. He'll kick out. You know it's coming. And then when it's all hope is lost, the first portal opens up. Here comes Jey Uso. The next portal opens up. Here comes Sami Zayn. The next portal, here comes Seth Rollins. The next portal, hell, here comes CM Punk. The next, I don't know what he's going to do with that bad arm, but here he comes anyways. And then a portal to the 1980s opens up. Oh, we're not done. The 1980s opens up. Here comes Hulkamania. Brother.
Wow.
And the 90s, brother. Here comes Stone Cold Steve Austin with his backup drop. Oh, hell yeah. And
Jeez,
then
Louise.
2000, here comes no, ho, even better. Dr. Thugonomics, Word Life, John Cena, and here comes two John Cenas, not one, but two.
Two John Cena.
Oh, we not done yet, B. And then we got, I walk for miles inside this pit of danger. Batista comes out. Literally, every babyface comes out to help out Cody Rhodes. It's Endgame. It's going to be crazy, overbooked mess. I want it. I love it. Dave Meltzer's going to fucking give it -5 stars. I don't give a fuck. I want the overbooking. I want the craziness. I want the nostalgia. And ultimately, when it's all said and done, the ghost clears and the bloodline whips all their asses. We got Roman Reigns inside the ring with The Rock. Cody Rhodes on the ground. They put up the ones, but The Rock takes his one, turns the finger up, turns it sideways, and sticks it straight up. Okay, but you know what I mean. He points the gun at Roman. Roman turns around, boom, rock bottom. And then Solo's like, what? And he gets inside the ring. The Rock says, final boss. And Solo goes, I acknowledge you. The bloodline doesn't help because The Rock stops him. And now we got Roman inside the ring by himself with Cody. He's begging Cody, oh, don't do it. Don't take my title. All these years, 1,310 days. Don't do it to me. This is all I'm worth. This is all I got. Cody picks his ass up. Boom, crossroads. Boom, crossroads. 3 crossroads, pins him. A new undisputed champion, finishing the story fucking finally. Cody Rhodes is your new undisputed champion. The crowd's gonna go crazy. Yeah. Oh my God, he finished the story. Fireworks at the gut. Fireworks everywhere. They're gonna break the budget with fireworks. Holy shit. Yeah. It's gonna go everywhere. We end the show. And just before, I love this. Y'all ready for this? Right when the caption shows up, Damian Priest comes out. Y'all, I had you. Y'all thought I was actually gonna predict Cody Rhodes to walk out with the champ. Oh, you idiots. No, I love y'all. You're not idiots. You're not. I swear to God. No. Friends. Oh, no. Damian Priest comes out. He hits Cody Rhodes in the back of the head with that briefcase. He cashes in. He pins Cody. Damian Priest is your new Universal Champion. One book closes, another story begins. And we begin the feud between Cody Rhodes and Damian Priest after WrestleMania.
Oh my gosh.
You about to get the most upset super chat from Mr. Ridiculous right now. He hates
Give it to me. I'm ready. Hey, guess what? What did I tell y'all? I love Cody. I think Cody's going to have his moment. I think he should have his moment. Cody, as a babyface champion, is not going to work for me. I feel like if you haven't be a babyface champion 6 months in, people are going to boo him. But if you do this, oh God, he had it. It was right there. It was in his, like Dusty Rhodes, it was right there in his hands, and it was taken away from him.
Mm-hmm.
Damian Priest doing this, you not only keep the babyface run for Cody going, and you can give it back to him, Backlash, I don't care. But you do this, Damian Priest is going to create a moment that is going to live in infamy. And I think the cash in, this kind of cash in, you can't pass up. It's too perfect. It is the perfect moment to really stab it in the hearts of the Cody crybabies, the Cody fans. You know, keep them crying, keep them angry, keep them coming back to see Cody win. Because I think this is what needs to happen. Now, honestly, the Damian Priest part is probably not going to happen. Calm down. I just wanted to have a little fun and do predictions. This is what we do here, right? I do think Cody Rhodes is going to walk out as champion. But, man, what if? I'm just saying, Patrick, what if? I'm just saying, man. Hey, that's what I think is going to happen. Patrick, you have the floor. Main event, who walks out is world champion.
Well, the Money in the Bank idea is very interesting. As long as somebody has that briefcase, that's something that's always lingering in the back of your mind. Is like, are they going to do it tonight? Are they going to do it tonight? And the situation you just lined up would be worth talking about the next morning. For sure. It would be insane.
Yeah.
Like, Twitter will explode if it happens. But, you know, I don't care if Cody walks out with the belt. I don't care if Damian Priest walks out with the belt. I don't care if by some bizarre twist of fate, Bozo the Clown walks out with the belt. Roman has to drop that belt at WrestleMania. We've gotten to the point where it's just, and look, I don't, you know, some people are hung up on the records. It's like, oh, he's got to beat Hogan's record, make a run for Bruno or whatever. It's like, look, I'm not emotionally attached to records. I think records are made to be broken. If they had a situation where they could get somebody to break Hogan and Backlund and Bruno's record, okay, fine. But I think with Roman, we've done just about everything we can possibly do with him. And for a guy that only works a handful of times a year, for me to be that sick of him, you know, in the last, and I was fully on board with the Roman train up till about WrestleMania 39. And since then, it's been kind of diminishing returns. So I say it's like, you know, there's plenty of opportunities, plenty of situations for fresh matches moving forward. He still got that match with The Rock that you can do with him after dropping the title. But him as champion, I've just gotten so sick of it that it's like, please take the belt off of him. Again, you can do the Money in the Bank thing. I'll be completely fine with it. It's like, just get the belt off Roman. I think it'll freshen up the WWE considerably.
Absolutely. Do you think people are going to be coming out to help Cody? We get an Avenger moment. How about that?
Yeah, for sure.
Basically. All right. Hey, A and B, you've been waiting for a long time to talk about this. The time is now. Who walks out as your world champion?
I actually don't think we're going to agree on this. I was thinking about doors opening because Rock said to Triple H, fix this. And we thought we were about to have a little Triple H Rock rivalry kind of on the boss level. You know what I mean? Little homage to their rivalry. And then that just dropped. We haven't really seen Triple H in this. I would love to see Triple H walk out with like, oh, you told me to fix this, there's how I'm fixing it. And he does bring out John Cena. And he does bring out Batista. You know what I mean? Like, to even it up a little bit. I don't know about Hulk Hogan. You know, let's get out there.
Come on, brother.
You know, but I really kind of see something like that because I want to see Triple H in this because we were just left hanging. You acted like, nah, I'm in charge. He's not in charge. But then we haven't seen you really say nothing to him or face off. So I feel like he should be involved in some way. And I like the idea of him opening the door. I like the idea of John Cena being back in this. We haven't seen him since the strike ended, but he's got that relationship with The Rock. I feel like I like that. I like that a lot. I 1,000% agree, Cody. You cannot not give it to Cody. You cannot not give it to Cody at this point. You just can't. And I don't think you're going to agree with me. And you know that I'm Roman all day. But in this story, you can't do this anymore. You can't fumble it again. And maybe you didn't fumble it last year. Maybe this made sense because last year was supposed to, we thought we were getting Rock and Roman last year. And so I don't know. But this year, this needs to happen. This build up, everything they've done, it would be wasted if they didn't give it to him. So I don't know if we'll see Rock necessarily like put hands on Roman. He may instruct the rest of the bloodline to fall under him. And I could see them doing that, like you said, high chief level. But I don't know if we're actually going to get them two getting physical yet, or him just whispering something like he did with Cody. And we're like, what the heck just happened? What did he say? And then, start and like really building that up and having us, they have time. You got a year to build this up to the next WrestleMania.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, so to be clear, everybody's in agreement here thus far that Cody is winning the Universal Championship, right?
You
better.
darn skippy, bro.
Oh,
Patrick,
Lord.
you went already, right?
Yeah.
Did you go?
Yes, he did.
Guys, he's gonna do it, isn't he? Oh, Lord.
All right. I'm not going to say I disagree with anybody.
Okay, good.
But
But I, at this exact moment in time, do not know what the long-term goal here is. Because it switched. It legitimately switched. The Rock coming back, The Rock stepping to Roman Reigns, everybody was on board. Then all of a sudden, seemingly overnight, it switched to, wait a minute, what about Cody? And they pivoted, and they pivoted well. And they've really taken it to such a degree that if he really did turn on Reigns, and everybody out of the woodwork comes out here and they do whatever they do, it's going to be such a big babyface turn for Cody, which is going to be amazing. And family above all, everybody betrayed me. I got somebody else in here, former member of this, who turned his back on his brothers, and now my cousin is doing the same thing. We still are invested in Rock versus Roman. That makes zero sense right now unless somebody betrays somebody. And then when are we going to see it? Cody gets his moment, and then that puts that whole thing out of the way and sets up the stage for Rock and Roman so we can finally get that matchup. When that's going to happen, how it's going to happen. Rock is a traditionalist. He's an old school guy. He's not an active member on the roster. So he's not doing pay-per-view after pay-per-view. We will see The Rock wrestle again at a major pay-per-view. If that's not Survivor Series, I do not think it'll be SummerSlam. It most certainly will be WrestleMania 41. That we would love to see Rock versus Roman.
Absolutely.
And they can set it up nicely. They've done a great job so far. So with all that said, my mind is still not settled on what the long-term goal here is. The tag match has a lot of implications. If this is going to be bloodline rules, then anything can happen. That basically means it's a no DQ match. So like you said, anybody can run out here. Anybody can do anything. The ref can't do a damn thing about it.
Yeah.
It just is what it is. Your only job, ref, is to count 1, 2, 3, or, like the old used to do. That's it. It's it. He's choked out. Whatever the case may be. What is the long-term goal here? Do we want to see a face Cody Rhodes finally finish the story? And then, like you said, are they going to turn on him like a pack of wild hyenas like they did Liv Morgan? We were in the arena live when she won it, when she cashed it in. You deserve it. What was it, 2 months later? You suck! and they stripped the title off of her.
That's because she doesn't have a jacket.
Bring it full circle, baby. I love it.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Cody's cut some great promos. That promo between him and Roman Reigns was stale as I don't know what. So I was like, well, I'm not there yet. Not invested in that match. That's going to suck booty. So quite frankly, what is the long-term goal here? What's the ultimate point? Is Roman Reigns going to take a break after this match? He's already on a part-time schedule, wrestles once a quarter, if that. So what's fitting to happen? I don't know. But I'll be honest with you. If it's going to be that straight line right now where we all think Rock is turning, then Cody for sure is winning this title. If it's not, I can still see Roman Reigns retaining this thing. I hate to say it like that. Because then because you want to get people talking, whether that is in a good way or it's heat. And to have everybody all kinds of pissed off that for the second year in a row, Cody just couldn't get it done.
And then how does he ever recover? There's no recovering. And then no one will ever want to see part 3. It will just never happen.
I know.
It'll turn Cody Rhodes into the Buffalo Bills under Jim Kelly and Marv Levy. It would be like, because that team famously made it to 4 Super Bowls in a row, lost them all, and you don't want to turn Cody Rhodes into that.
No, you don't. No, you don't. So I feel like everything is going to come to a crescendo, and it's basically now or never. Now we're at a point where we have seen The Rock go to levels we didn't think he could go, and I think he's doing it to really fool us all. To get because even when he was a heel, even when he turned his head, and all of a sudden Hollywood Rock music hits, oh my gosh, the Hollywood Rock, the crowd was still cheering. The crowd still cheers for this man. They still boo. They're all over the place when it comes to The Rock. So I think we are going to see The Rock ultimately, like you said, have this thing turn into Roman Reigns. Pa-pew! He's going to be the catalyst. It has to be. It has to be, because at the end of the day, it was Roman, Rock, Cody is the reason why we're here right now. That's why we are where we are right now. So The Rock interjecting himself is the main reason why we have the Cody crybabies and why this thing is how it is. We still want Rock and Roman. The only way to get there is to have him turn on Roman and for them to face each other down the line. So my answer, Rock does ultimately turn on Roman Reigns. Whoever comes out, comes out. I don't even care. It doesn't even matter. The point is, The Rock has to be the dagger in the back of Roman Reigns to allow this referee to count 1, 2, 3. And now, finally, the crowd is like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it. Cody Rhodes, champagne, congratulations. Crowd is back with Roman Reigns being the big heel, Rock being a big baby face, and we finally get that match unfettered, no shenanigans, no nonsense, no nothing. We get what we wanted to see when they finally went face to face and the crowd was going bananas.
Right.
Nothing else interfering in that.
And I feel like ultimately what you said was, it has a lot to do with why I chose Cody, because you think long-term. We talk about long-term booking. That's it. Rock and Roman is the ultimate long-term match that you do for WrestleMania 41. And this kicks it off. The only reason, literally the only reason I see Roman Reigns would retain this belt, and this is just coming from what I've been seeing, he is 100 days away from beating Hulk Hogan's record.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah. That's all I got. Like, other than that, there's no reason to keep that belt on Roman Reigns. He's already going to be one of the greatest of all time with his record by itself, whether he wins or not. Personally, I'm sick and tired of the championship not being on TV because it has hurt the product. There's a lot of people who are waiting to get to that main event spot, but they're being hampered by the fact that we have a world champion, but not the world champion on TV. So you give it to Cody, we get to build a ton of superstars really, really fast and create a ton of content with Cody as a babyface. Again, I don't know. Maybe it'll work. I'm skeptical about it, but we'll have to see. But I'm sorry, like Roman's had
Well,
his
if
run,
MJF is the surprise,
the
talk
mystery
about
segment.
talk about a setup for next year for those two. Because
Damn.
MJF, man, that's a heel. He knows how to cut a promo. Him and Cody would be able to go at it from days of AEW to now. I mean, that would be a great setup for next year because they need something big to go from Roman against Roman and Rock. And I think MJF and Cody could be a night one, night two thing for them if they could make that happen. If he is really going to be here.
Well, let me just say this real quick in closing for us, because I know this is pretty much it. If that happens, that's fine. I like stories wrapping up in a nice neat bow. And if MJF did show, if that actually did happen, I don't like him not finishing what he had over here in AEW. To me, it's unfinished, and that it leaves a bad taste in my mouth. Just like with Adam Copeland going over to AEW, I do not feel like we got that second coming of Edge that we could have got. He didn't get that shot at the World Heavyweight title that he never lost. That to me is still a legit issue that I have. The TNT Championship ain't no World Heavyweight Championship. So that's unsettled for me. But also we're talking about him switching brands. I understand everybody shows up wherever they show up, but he is a Raw roster person. That's the other thing that I take umbrage with, kind of like when we had that ridiculous title change with Charlotte and Becky, is now you've got to have Cody Rhodes over here on Monday Night Raw. I mean, from Monday Night Raw to SmackDown. And I'm not sure I see that happening. I'm not quite sure that I see that, because honestly, even though everybody goes everywhere, that's enemy territory. That's all bloodline over there. That's all the blue brand over there. Now you're going straight into enemy territory with no friends? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. So I don't know. I don't know. Does that make
Here's
sense?
what I don't know about. Let me just say this. What is this? Okay, we got Levine.
Oh, man.
Now we got Hollywood Three Diglets. Hey, can you do the honors of reading this?
Well, let me tell you something, brother. Listen here, brother. I got Cody Rhodes thinking that WWE title man, they can finally stop making those finish your story t-shirts, Jack. When I'm in the gym, clanging and banging, getting these 24-inch pythons all jacked and ready for that big stinky giant. What you gonna do when the largest arms in the world and the bloodline runs wild on you?
Brother.
That's what it was.
He added a little bit to it.
He does that. He does that sometimes.
Thank
Three
you so
Diglets,
much. Once
you
again,
are
oh my God, Three Diglets. Look,
He's
if
a
you
real
are
one.
challenging nickname my friend, you might want to save some of that for Saturday. But
Like Michael Henry said, he got plenty more left in the tank.
apparently he's got a lot more left in the tank. Lord have mercy. Thank you so much, Three Diglets, for that donation. Thank you all so much for joining us for this live stream. You know what? I hate to cut it off. I want to keep it going. But ladies and gentlemen, we are coming up to 3 hours.
Woo!
This is literally the longest live stream that I've done with a collab, period. And dare I say it's the best one. Because I got
It felt like it was going by pretty fast.
Yeah.
I mean, Patrick was coming in. He was coming in hard with these. I really enjoyed
fun.
this. I really enjoyed this.
it
We
was
had
a lot of fun, for
differing
sure.
opinions, a lot of similarities, a lot of ideas tossed around. This was a lot of fun. Thank you both.
yeah.
It helps when the card we're talking about is interesting as well. So there was a lot to talk about, and I think that helped carry the discussion pretty well.
There's a lot to unpack for sure.
It was 2 pay-per-view nights, so.
For sure.
Yeah, but tell you guys what, if you love what they all had to say, you get to find them on their YouTube channel. So we're going to close things out by having them plug their stuff, starting off with Patrick. Tell them where to find you, Patrick.
Sure, absolutely. You can find me at my YouTube channel, Patrick's Crazy Place. You can also find me on the platform formerly known as Twitter, X, at PatrickGBook. And if you want to check out my own self-published book, if you're a monster movie fan or Godzilla fan, check out Godzilla, the Monster Fight Record, Volumes 1 and 2. You can find them on Amazon. So enjoy that.
A&B, they kind of already know, but still, tell where to find you at A&B.
Well, we're going to talk about that, Patrick. I'm a Godzilla fan to the max. And I will be getting that book. We'll discuss that at another time. B, you want to lay it on the people?
No?
All right. you will find us, A&B Convos Wrestling Edition, right here. We got lives all week. We most likely will be doing a live watch-along for Friday Night SmackDown, the go-home show before WrestleMania, of which we will be doing our live watch-along night 1 and night 2. For that, I sincerely hope my predictions hit on this. I'm going to be geeking out no matter what happens. It is going to be a fun time. We are also on social media platforms. You can find us on Instagram, the tweets, the X's, whatever the heck you want, whatever you want to call it, whatever you want to call it. We are on TikToks, the ticks and the talks and all that stuff. So that's where you can catch us.
The tickets of the talkers, perhaps? Oh, no.
And we will be doing a special.
You're the tickets of the talkers.
We'll be doing a special members only live coming up. We believe after SmackDown is the plan. It will be our first only member only live.
That's right. Exclusivity that's coming at you. Thank you, guys.
Something to think about. Guys, you know what to do. Do all the YouTube things. Like the video, subscribe, and click that bell to catch all my content when it comes out. And their content as well. Follow us on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. Donate, PayPal, Patreon, Cash App, and Venmo. The big streams are coming this weekend. Y'all know I got the WrestleMania stream Saturday, Sunday, and then the Raw after WrestleMania. Lord have mercy. It's not gonna end for me. I know A&B Combos got their live streams. They'll be reacting to the shows. Patrick, what you doing for WrestleMania? You got a review coming out?
I'm definitely going to do a review. Right now, I'm working on a series of videos with a WrestleMania fantasy card where I take previous wrestlers from WrestleMania's past and put them together for a big fantasy card. That'll be wrapping up this week. I don't really do live streams anymore. Something about having a baby around, it makes it harder to actually put time aside to do live streams. But I was lucky to do this. But yeah, I've got a couple of projects down the line that I'm working on for the channel. So hopefully everybody enjoys that.
Yeah,
Patrick,
check him out.
For you, brother. We're doing the first ever Milfomania and the Baby Bowl, dude. And your baby has been entered as the number 1 entrant, Jack. I'm never giving up on that idea. Never giving up on that idea. I joke about that all the time. Milfomania and the Baby Bowl, brother. But okay,
I'd watch
that's
it.
on our channel. My bad.
For a future time. With that in mind, we would like to bid you all adieu. I just took that from A&B. Sorry about that, but I'm going to end it my way, the way I know.
Family.
We know how to end this. You are watching Just Alyx, A&B Combos, and Patrick right here. And Alyx, well, this will always be a safe space for wrestling fans like you. You guys have a good night. We out of here. Peace. When you're